Brownlee crushes that one. Left field and into the night it goes.
Deep shot, and that is deep to left field, and that is way gone here at the stadium. It is 6-1 for the Majors.
Here's the 1-2. Jaco drives that one to left field and deep. Moving back out at the left fielder bird side to the warning track. That ball is gone. Hayden Jaco sends one out to left field, and the Majors take a 1-0 lead. Byron drives it to right field and deep. Back it goes. Warning track wall. Goodbye baseball. Byron right side hits one out to Riverside Drive. The Majors lead 5-0 on an absolute bomb from Byron. A pitch from Candell. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Fire that bow and arrow, Keith Candell. It's your first career IBL save.
And no doubt about that one. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside Labatt Memorial Park. London Majors baseball here on Majors TV as the Toronto Maple Leafs are in town to take on the London Majors at the top of the Intercounty Baseball League standings. Good evening, I'm Noah Smith, back on the mic here with Dylan Baker for another night of London Majors action.
Noah, it's really good to have you back in the booth here with us as the Majors host the Toronto Maple Leafs for today's game. These two teams faced off in the Majors home opener where the Majors won 12-1. Then they lost in Toronto at Christie Pitts by a score of 5-4. They were supposed to play last Sunday. It was going to be a home-and-home, Noah, but that didn't end up happening due to the rain that took place Sunday afternoon in Toronto. That game was canceled. So we look forward to seeing these two teams, two very good offenses.
Yeah, two high-powered offenses coming at it here. The London Majors and the Toronto Maple Leafs both putting up a lot of runs to start the season, but the London Majors pitching staff is going to have to be sharp tonight, and we're seeing a different look on the mound as it's going to be Robert Doyle starting the game. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, Robert Doyle is on the mound for the London Majors. We're interested to see how far he's able to get in this ball game, but Doyle does get the start against this Maple Leafs lineup.
Let's have a look at the London Majors starting lineup to kick things off here on this Friday night contest. It's fairly similar to what we've been seeing all season long, Dylan.
Yeah, a couple slight changes in there. Chris McQueen leads off at second. Carlos Artiega bats second at third base. Humberto Ruiz is in left field. He bats third. Byron Reichstein bats cleanup in right field. Hayden Jaco, after the home run last Saturday, gets moved up into the fifth hole. Cleveland Brownlee, who's in a bit of a slump right now, goes to the sixth spot. Julian Johnson hits seventh. Adam Philman eighth. And Keith Candell bats ninth at shortstop.
1 through 5 in this London Majors lineup, Dylan hitting over 300 and well over 300 at that. These guys have been hitting the cover off the ball to start the season, and it's fantastic to see for this London Majors offense if they can get the bats going early here against the Toronto Maple Leafs, something that they've struggled with at times this season and over the past years. It's getting the offense going early. We'll look to see if they can get the bats going, get some runs across in the first, second inning, and really set the pace for this game.
You know what, a perfect example of that, Noah, is last Friday against the Welland Jackfish. Jake Palanchik was on the mound for Welland. They couldn't muster up a lot of the offense there, but as soon as the starter was taken out, they got to the bullpen. If they're able to get on the starting pitcher early, and we'll get to who that is very shortly, they will have success in this ball game, and that's exactly what they did in the first game they played against Toronto. In the first inning, they jumped right on Zach Sloan and had great success scoring 12 runs in the game. However, we haven't seen a number like that in a while. So if they're able to get on him right away, that'll lead to success tonight.
We talk about the offense for the London Majors, but if there's a better offense in the league, Dylan, it might be here with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's a look at their starting lineup. And the averages, although not high across the board like with the London Majors, you're seeing some guys on this team which, as you would expect, hitting the cover off the ball.
Absolutely they are, Noah. Jordan Castaldo leads off at shortstop. He was the Triple Crown winner in 2019, very talented player. Justin Mara bats second, had a go-ahead home run against the Majors when they last played at Christie Pitts. Sean Riley, who's been doing it forever, hitting over .430 this season. Garrett Takamatsu, Jonathan Salazzo, Marcus Connect is back, and he's in this lineup. Damon Toppoli, Ryan Johnston, and Grant Tamani round things out.
Yeah, this Toronto Maple Leafs lineup, you look at it, you look across the runs that you've been putting up in the games, And it's easy for us to sit here and say, yeah, but they're playing their home games at Christie Pitts. This is a team that can hit in any ballpark in the league, and you can't go in here thinking that they're getting these runs just because of the short porch in Toronto. You have to go in there with the mindset that these guys are good hitters, and they are.
Absolutely. That's exactly what Robert Doyle is going to have to do in today's ball game as we get you a look at the pitching matchup today between the two teams. Doyle is on the bump for the Majors, taking on Brendan Lyons. Lyons was at Humber College, went 2-0 with a 1.37 ERA, 8.24 Ks per 9, 1.83 walks per 9. That was in 2017-2018 at Humber. We weren't able to find any stats since then, so I'm very intrigued to see what Lyons can do out there on the mound. And Robert Doyle gets the start, his first of the year, one of his first starts in his career in the IBL. So I'm interested to see how Doyle fares out there on the mound.
Both these guys coming out of the OCAA, two guys that, while Doyle I've played with, Lyons I've played against. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys fare against really good hitting IBL players. Both these guys had success at the college level. Both of them, as you can see by their numbers, are good pitchers. We're going to see if they can do that tonight. Dylan, I don't expect either of these guys to go 5-6 innings. It's probably going to be 3 or 4 for both these guys.
Absolutely. Robert Doyle still getting stretched out. He only threw about 40 pitches in his last relief outing. I think 3 innings or so is the most we'll see.
Finishing up the introductions out there for the London Majors. Dylan, good crowd here tonight on the Friday night. We had some rain come through the area earlier on today, and it looks like it's dried up pretty good out there.
It sure does, Noah. At first, we were kind of worried looking at the tarps coming off the field. There were some puddles, but the grounds crew has done a magnificent job clearing up the field, drying it up to make sure that we're ready to go against the Maple Leafs.
Toronto Maple Leafs, London Majors coming your way here from Labatt Memorial Park in London. We'll take it now down to field level for the national anthems.
Rise if you are able, and gentlemen, please remove your caps and join in the singing of our national anthem. To introduce tonight's anthem singer, we go down on the field to Mr. Alan Coons. Thank you so much, Eric. We were down here with Sonic Scott, a singer, composer, and guitarist based in London, Ontario. He's the founder of the Motive Force rock band that has a long-form psychedelic prog rock track with spacey sound influences include bands like Tool, Queen, Pink Floyd, Deep Purple, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, and Judas Priest. Since 2010, Sonic has been leading the band, and they've been performing in Ontario and across Canada for great bands like Anvil and the Buffalo Brothers. Center of Gravity was the band's first EP, released in 2018 with the first track, Hot Tops and Headphones, after the band released the singles One Foot Out the Door in 2019 and Summit in 2020. Sonic will be performing in Canada in 11 different languages as published by CBC News in 2017 to promote strength in diversity and multiculturalism in honor of our recent tragedy the Muslim community faced last month. Please, a round of applause for Sonic Scott! Oh, Canada, you know faithful praise. You be cry you when Gigi tort and Gigi cat ombre c'est porter le peg dur à cacao. O Decrati, O Canada, nous feel free 11 different languages. The London Majors would like to thank the London Arts Council and the London Music Office for providing quality pregame entertainment for our fans. In addition, we would like to thank the
Well, we welcome you back inside the booth here. London Majors baseball on Majors TV. A good crowd out here on this Friday night as the London Majors face off against the Toronto Maple Leafs. If you were listening to the national anthem there, we were told, Dylan, 11 different languages in that national anthem.
Noah, I can speak two, and I'm very proud of that. That is very impressive to be able to go with 11 different languages in one national anthem. An interesting performance there, a very unique one, and a good one as well out there on the field.
Dylan, here's a look at the Intercounty Baseball League standings as we enter this game and the two other games going on around the league tonight. The London Majors, who we're seeing tonight, out in front with an 8-3 record, leading the pack here in the Intercounty Baseball League.
They've actually started 12 games already, Noah. Of course, that one against Kitchener is delayed and suspended until August 20th. Kitchener is right behind them, just a game back. The reason that they are behind them is thanks to these Toronto Maple Leafs, who beat Kitchener on Wednesday night at Christie Pitts. The Leafs sit in third place. Hamilton is in fourth, Welland in fifth, Barrie down in sixth place. It's been a disappointing year for them, and the Brantford Red Sox sit in seventh.
Toronto Maple Leafs, although playing well at home so far, Dylan, have not won a game on the road this season. 0-4 on the road for Toronto, while the London Majors hold a 6-1 record here at Labatt Memorial Park. We'll see which one of those is going to budge a little bit tonight.
Yeah, the first loss for the Majors at home was last Friday when they blew the lead to the Welland Jackfish late in that ball game. For Toronto, they haven't won a game on the road yet this season, like you touched on there. They're certainly hungry for their first. They'd like to be able to win away from home. That's certainly a necessary thing in the playoffs especially. So they're going to look to change their unfortunate record away from Christie Pitts here tonight.
So it looks like Robert Doyle is ready to go down there on the mound, and he'll get set to face off against Jordan Castaldo, former Triple Crown winner, to lead off this ball game for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are looking to come out here and get their first road win of the season. The sun out after a dreary afternoon here in London, but a good night for baseball and a good crowd on hand to watch this one. Doyle, the London-born left-hander, grabs his sign here from Hayden Jaco and gets ready to go. First pitch there for a strike. It's called, and we are underway. 7:38, the first pitch of this ball game. Doyle again coming to the plate there, going to miss 1-1.
No, I'm very interested to see how Doyle fares early on in this outing. We saw Braden Farrington get a start last week. Didn't seem to settle in until a couple innings into that ball game. Typically a reliever. I'm interested to watch the transition.
This one hit on the ground over to second base. Doyle's going to have to get over and cover. He is there in plenty of time to get Castaldo down the line, and there is the first out of the ball game.
Really good play there by Robert Doyle on that hit from Jordan Castaldo. It was a really good pitch. It jammed him. He nearly broke his bat if he didn't break his bat. It was hit over to Chris McQueen, who was shifted well to the right side. Julian Johnson wasn't sure if he should go make that play. Normally that's the only guy who would have a shot at that ball, but because McQueen was shifted over, he made the play. Johnson was so far off the bag he was not going to get back in time, but Doyle was there to cover.
Doyle's first pitch to Justin Marr, going to miss inside. Marr, the catcher in the ball game today for Toronto. And now time called. Not sure if that was Jaco or Mara at the plate.
One thing we've seen so far, Noah, from Robert Doyle, he's working very quickly, and I talk about it often, how it's a sign of confidence. That's a good thing to see from a guy who doesn't start very often on the mound.
Mara is going to crush this one down the right field line. It's going to carry and land just inside the line, rolling to the fence in the 330 sign. Into second base, and it's going to be a one-out double for Justin Mara.
You know, Justin Mara in a matchup against Robert Doyle like this, where it's lefty versus lefty, you would think that that matchup favors the Majors starter. However, Mara does not shy away from a lefty-lefty matchup. When the Majors were last in Toronto at Christie Pitts, Jared Lund, a very tough lefty for the Majors out there on the mound, and Mara took him deep. So good job, good piece of hitting there from Justin Mara to get on base, get in scoring position at that, as Sean Riley steps up to the plate.
So now the always dangerous bat in Sean Riley come off to face Robert Doyle here, and he's got a runner in scoring position early in this ball game, represented by Mara, who stands at second base.
Riley with 13 RBI so far this year.
Doyle's first pitch is going to drop it in there on Riley for a strike. Looked like it went to the off-speed pitch. It's 0-1.
With a runner in scoring position, you can bet that Riley's geared up for a fastball. Looked like Doyle came with a changeup, fooled him just enough to get him to take it, and it's strike one.
Doyle to the plate here. Riley fouls that one off. And it's going to be an 0-2 count here for Robert Doyle against Sean Riley.
It looked like Doyle and Jaco stayed with that changeup there. Riley was still out in front of it, fouled right off the chest of Hayden Jaco, if I'm not mistaken. I'm interested to see whether they try to speed him up here when he's down 0-2.
0-2 count, lots to work with here for Robert Doyle. Leg kick and delivery. This one swung on, fouled back. Riley stays alive at the plate.
Bit of an emergency hack there from Sean Riley on a breaking ball. He was able to fight it off and stay alive, so now he gets another chance here. Still down 0-2 in the count, though.
You got to bet Robert Doyle out there, although he's up 0-2 here on Riley, knows that he doesn't have to give him anything over the heart of the plate. Has that base open at absolute worst as he misses upstairs with the fastball.
You can afford to waste a few pitches. You got to be careful with Sean Riley at the plate. You touched on it there, Noah. There's a base open at first. Last thing you want to do is give him a pitch that he can drive, and he can take it out of the ballpark on any given at-bat.
Doyle grabs his sign from Jaco, has a look at Mara at second. Pitch just off the plate there. Wanted to get the call, but didn't get the budge. And now the count even at 2-2.
Yeah, just nearly missed the outside corner there. It was most certainly off the plate. Good take there from Sean Riley. Doyle nearly had that call, and he executed it perfectly. Got a take from Riley on a pitch he probably could have hit, but it was just off the plate outside.
The 2-2 delivery. This one hit into left field. It's going to drop in front of Ruiz. Castaldo gets the wave. He'll be into home with the throw, and it was close, but not in time. And the Maple Leafs will strike first here in the top of the first, 1-0.
A good piece of hitting there from Sean Riley. Got a pitch in, and he was able to lace it down the left field line for a base hit, well over the head of Carlos Artiega, the third baseman. Justin Mara, who was out there at second base, was able to score with ease, although Humberto Ruiz did make it close with a very strong throw from left field, although it was a little bit late, and that allowed Mara to score. Riley now stands out there at second base. Curious to see if they give him a double or if he gets a single and then move to second base on the throw.
Doyle now able to get ahead on the swing and miss there from here at Takamatsu. The Leafs able to strike first here in this ball game after the Sean Riley RBI hit into left. Outside there from the Majors left-hander, 1-1.
They have given Sean Riley a single, and then he advanced to second base on the throw.
14th RBI of the season for the Maple Leafs DH. 1-1 from Doyle now. This one, outer part of the plate, fouled off to the screen, and it's 1-2.
A guy who's having an underrated season is Garrett Takamatsu, who's at the plate for the Maple Leafs. He's hitting .489 this year, 4 home runs, 14 RBI, having a very good season for the Leafs after only playing in one game in 2019.
Doyle checks on two. Now he comes to the plate, this one missing upstairs. Went with the fastball. Count evens up at 2-2 strikes here. 15 pitches already in the first inning, just one gone here for Robert Doyle.
I think Doyle will come with a changeup here, change the speeds. He's got confidence in it. We'll see if he gets Takamatsu to go after it.
Swung on and missed. They did go with it, and they get the strikeout, second out of the inning, as Doyle and Jaco on the same page as yourself, Dylan.
Well, right there, it just felt like a perfect situation for the changeup. You waste a pitch with a fastball up. He's got his timing down for the fastball. He's looking high, and then you throw a changeup below the strike zone, gets the swing and a miss. So a great job there by Doyle and Jaco to record the strikeout. And now there are 2 outs. Any out gets you out of this inning and doesn't allow Riley to score.
So a big chance here for Doyle to get out of the inning with just a run across. This one's going to send the bat flying down to first base, right out of the hands of Jonathan Salazzo.
Right there, I think he took something off of that pitch. Salazzo was out in front of it, and the bat went further than the ball did as he threw it all the way down towards first base. Julian Johnson thought about whether he was going to try to catch that bat or dodge it, and he picked it up, got it over to a coach there for the Maple Leafs. So Salazzo has another chance now, but certainly an interesting play there.
Got that bat handed back to him with a stick of pine tar in the other hand to make sure that doesn't happen again. It's 0-1. Doyle's delivery there, able to get the swing. As Salazzo thought about it, went around enough to get the strike. It's 0-2.
Great breaking pitch there from Robert Doyle. So tough against a lefty batter. Wasn't able to execute it against Mara, but right there gets a swing and a miss from Salazzo.
0-2 here from Doyle. To the plate, just going to miss.
Doyle up to 19 pitches in this top of the first inning, Noah. Not terrible, but certainly not an ideal scenario if you're the Majors starting pitcher.
Runner off, swung on, and that one's missed. Jayco's going to just take it and tag out Salazzo, who thought he got a piece of that one. But we'll walk back to the dugout with a strikeout in the final out here at the top of the first inning. Doyle gives up a run, but he's able to stop the bleeding there. Leafs leading 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the first.
Yeah, right there, a strange play there as Salazzo was at the plate, and he thought he got a piece of that. Could have probably advanced to first base with how far it got away from Hayden Jayco. Sean Riley moved up to third, could have had a first and third scenario with 2 out on a strikeout that got away, but that wasn't the case there, as Salazzo didn't realize that it was ruled a strikeout, and he was tagged out very easily by Hayden Jayco.
So the Majors will have to come to the sticks with a run already across for Toronto and look to try and fight into the deficit. They'll face off against Brendan Lyons, who we talked about in the pregame show, former Humber Hawk, playing in Etobicoke as well. And will now get the start for the Maple Leafs of the IBL to try and shut down one of the best offenses in the league this season.
Lyons is a guy, as you saw in the pregame show, that had really, really good numbers at Humber College, and I'm interested to see how he fares in his first IBL start today. A guy who doesn't have any experience or any playing time this year. I'm curious to see how far he's able to go, how many pitches he is going to be allowed to throw, and what he features, because to be completely honest with you, Noah, I have no idea what to expect from Brendan Lyons today. We'll see if the Majors are able to get a piece of him, make some good contact. I'm sure, as you talked about, you played against him when he was at Humber. A lot of these Majors players were on that fan shot team as well and in the OCAA, so maybe they've faced him and they kind of have an idea of what to expect, but should be an interesting one.
Dylan, there's a look over at first base for the Maple Leafs today as the man puts himself in the ballgame today.
Yeah, Damon Topley over there at first base. He is the manager and player for this Toronto Maple Leafs ball club, and he's over 40. He's in his 40s. He's having a really good year. He's only played 5 games. This is his 6th. He's batting .389. He's 7 for 18. He's got a home run. He's got 2 RBI and 5 runs scored. So Topley's still doing it. And whenever there is a need, he doesn't hesitate to slide himself into the lineup, slide himself onto the field to make sure that his team gets enough players and has success on the diamond.
Well, when you're batting like that to start the season, why not throw yourself in the lineup out there? Throw yourself at first base, grab the stick in the 7-hole, and get ready to go here. And he's watching his club out to a 1-0 lead here early on a Friday night at Labatt Park. The Majors will get ready to hit the sticks here. It's going to be Chris McQueen to lead things off.
Yeah, Chris McQueen is also having a very good year for the London Majors so far. He's at second base today, provides some positional versatility, although he's mainly played second base with the exception of the first game of the season against these same Maple Leafs where he played center field. He is batting .400 on the year at 14 for 35. He's got an on-base percentage of .500, so he's been off to a very good start for the London Majors.
McQueen, the lefty, digs into that batter's box. His line stares in to get his sign. McQueen taking a little bit of time, as he always does, to get himself set and ready. And here we go to begin the bottom of the first inning. First pitch inside to McQueen. He takes that one. It's 1-0.
McQueen is a guy who likes to dig into that batter's box. You'll see him do it every single at-bat. First pitch he sees, before the first pitch, I should say, he really digs in, makes sure he's placed right.
Lines to the plate now. That one going to miss outside, 2-0. Infield both on the corners playing in here. Topley and Salazzo play about a foot or two in on the grass on either side.
Not a bad idea with a guy who can bunt like McQueen can.
Lions ready on the 2-1 pitch to McQueen. That one's taken low. 3-1 now to the Majors' leadoff hitter.
One of the more interesting numbers with Chris McQueen is the fact that he has 7 walks to just 2 strikeouts. He's a very patient guy, and when he gets himself into tough counts, he battles. Here he's up 3-1. If it's not his pitch, he's not going to swing at it.
The 3-1 pitch is there for a strike. McQueen just nodding in agreement there, figuring out where the strike zone will be tonight. It's a full count here on Chris McQueen.
Topley and the third baseman Salazzo still in protecting the bunt.
McQueen fouled off straight to the screen. Making him work here to start the ball game.
6-pitch at-bat already for Chris McQueen. That qualifies as a quality at-bat. I believe it's if you see 5 or more pitches, hit the ball hard or get an extra base hit, that's a quality AB.
Pitch behind him, and McQueen is going to be on with a base on balls to lead off the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, that pitch, you could see it as he threw it. It just kind of slipped out of the hands of Brendan Lyons, and so Chris McQueen reaches first base with a walk. His 8th walk of this season. Of course, that does include the game against the Kitchener Panthers. That is suspended. So he is over at first base now. He provides some speed, and Carlos Arteaga could be bunting in this situation. Puts the ball in play quite a bit. So I think that we'll see something, some kind of small ball from the Majors, whether it's a bunt from Carlos or a hit and run attempted by this Majors ball club.
McQueen on at first base, and now Carlos Arteaga has a man on. Squares around to bunt, going to take that one for a strike. 0-1 to the London Majors third baseman.
Despite the fact that he did square there, Carlos does that every time he sees a pitcher for the first time. He'll square around on that first pitch, so you can't read too much into it.
McQueen going to be thrown back to the bag over at first.
Not a real deceptive move there from Lyons, just trying to keep him close.
Lyons digging in here. He's down 0-1. Got an 0-1 count, pardon me, on Arteaga. That one in the dirt. McQueen off, and he's going to be in there without a throw. And that'll move a runner into scoring position here. Nobody out to start the bottom of the first for London.
Good spot for the Majors to be. They've got a chance to tie this game up, and McQueen just picked a really good pitch to run on. It was a breaking ball. It was in the dirt. It was blocked by Mara, but he couldn't get a clean handle on it to throw to second base, and now the Majors have their own runner in scoring position here in the first inning.
Now the 1-1. As Lyons comes to the plate here, Arteaga thought about it. They're going to appeal. And no swing there as Steve Cochran, who's out behind the pitcher, says he didn't go around. 2-1.
Carlos did a good job of holding up there, although it was close. Now ahead in the count.
Topley still playing in at first base. Protecting against the bunt in case Arteaga decide to go with it. He doesn't on 2-1 and takes the strike 2-2.
That pitch looked like it just got the bottom of the strike zone to Carlos Arteaga, and now it's a 2-2 count. He fights with 2 strikes.
Lyons to the plate. Arteaga on the ground. McQueen thought about it. Now he's off to third. Throw high to Topley. They get the out. And no throw over as McQueen's into third base.
Yeah, Chris McQueen right there thought about trying to move up to third base on the initial play. Salazzo coming across, of course, left third base wide open. But seeing that Salazzo was right there, he stopped himself. He was far enough, however, to move up to third base on the throw from Salazzo. I wondered if maybe Topley came off the bag a little bit too quickly and was going to be ruled off the base, and Carlos was going to be safe at first. Did not get that call, and Topley didn't even bother throwing to third as McQueen was there with ease.
I was going to say, Dylan, they might have had a vouch for that call had Steve Cochran been in the position behind first base, but where he was located in front of second, it was going to be a tough call for him to make whether he was off the bag. Now the ball to the backstop, gets him past him, and McQueen will come in to score. And just like that, the Majors have tied this ball game.
Yeah, right there. I mean, a pitch that just got away from Mara and Lyons, and you wonder how much these two have worked together. It's been a couple of pitches that have been in the dirt or yanked by Lyons. He might not have his best command, as we saw. I think the first pitch he threw to Chris McQueen was inside, and then the one that walked him was behind him. That would have been behind a lefty as well. That allows the Majors to score a runner.
Humberto Ruiz now for the Majors in a 1-1 count. Just one out here in the bottom of the first inning. As now Ruiz hits that one into left center field, chasing it down in the gap and coming together, but making the catch out in left field is Tamane, and there's 2 gone.
Grant Tamani out in left field was chasing that ball down. Humberto hit it hard. And his home run a couple of weeks ago was on a breaking ball. Similar to that one, I wondered if maybe he had another. It was to the left center field gap. Tamani was able to track it down. I wondered if him and Johnson were going to collide. They did not, as they were able to communicate well enough to make that play.
Byron Reichstein to the plate here. He's got 2 gone and nobody on base. Facing off against Brendan Lyons. He's going to hit this one in the air, left field. Slicing there, and it's over top of the head. Reichstein into second base with a 2-out double.
Byron hit that ball very hard out to left field and had a lot of carry on it. Tamani was ranging back, and it didn't look like he had a great read on that ball to begin with, as he kept tracking back and back and back, and the ball just got over his head, simply put. Byron hit that ball very hard, but it just kept rising and rising and rising. Tamani put the glove out, but it got over his head and off the wall.
That'll bring Hayden Jaco to the plate. Homered last weekend, his first of the season. And now he's got himself a runner in scoring position. Just try to find something to the outfield to bring him in and give the Majors the lead. Lyons checks, now comes. This one hit on the ground. Over at third, the strong throw across. Topley grabs it, and that'll do it for the bottom of the first inning. But the Major is able to get one back as Chris McQueen comes across to score. And we go to the second inning tied at 1. You're watching London Majors baseball here on Majors TV.
Walking around the stadium. 3 tickets for only $2 for an arm's length for $5.
Welcome to Labatt Park, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Don't miss your chance to walk the same field as some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts inside the original clubhouse. Book your tour at labattparktours.ca.
Welcome to Modern Health and Performance. The MHP team here provides patient-centered care custom to your needs. One-on-one treatment, assessing and treating the cause. Get back to doing what you love. Offering chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage, and custom orthotics. Our team is here for you. Book your appointment online today. New patients always welcomed. Dr. Alex Colson, official chiropractor of the London Majors.
Well, we welcome you back into Labatt Park. London Majors baseball on Majors TV. And the Toronto Maple Leafs and Majors tied at 1 run apiece through 1 inning. You see the 2 hits for Toronto in the first, 1 hit for London. Their run produced by Chris McQueen on the base pass. And we go to the top of the second. Robert Doyle back out there for the London Majors, sitting at 20 pitches even through an inning of work done.
Yeah, and if Doyle keeps up that pace, he might not last very long in this ball game. Threw around 45 in his last relief outing. I'm sure they do want to stretch him out. I think that probably around 60, 65 is what we'll see Doyle reach today. Maybe 75 if the Majors are lucky, but the bullpen is fresh. They are ready to go behind him. It might be a bit of a bullpen day with Doyle out there to start. He's going to look to have some quicker innings as this lineup gets lower and lower, but it's not really a cakewalk at any point in this Toronto Maple Leafs lineup.
First pitch missing outside there by Robert Doyle. 1-0 here to Marcus Connect to lead things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the top half of the second inning. Playing right field today.
Connect was in the Atlantic League to start this year, now with the Maple Leafs.
Fouls that one straight back to the screen. Count even at 1-1 here. A good crowd at Labatt Park tonight, Dylan. We were talking in between innings. This might be one of the biggest crowds of the year so far, as that one's hit into the gap in left center field. Connect will round first and head into second base there. Throw on the money, but the bounce will take McQueen off the bag, and Connect will have a leadoff double here in the top half of the second inning.
Roberto Ruiz showing off his arm from left field. Really good job by Marcus Connect at the plate. Took that breaking ball over the shortstop's head and into left field. Connect just 3 for 18 since coming over from the Atlantic League. Has 2 home runs, though, so 2 of his 3 hits have been homers. This is his first double of the season, so good for Marcus getting an extra base hit here in this at-bat. Now Damon Toppoli with a chance to drive him home.
Doyle having to face off against Toppoli here with a runner on in the top half of the second. First pitch missing for a ball, 1-0. Checks back to second base. Now comes through. Toppoli hits that one into left. Base hit for Damon Toppoli. They're going to hold Connect at 3. And the Maple Leafs working here in the top half of the second.
Yeah, good start to this inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A ball hit hard in the hole between Arteaga and Candel. Jeff McLeod, who's over at third base, coaching the third base bag today, held up Marcus Connect over at third because of Ruiz's arm strength. Good decision there, but Toppoli able to get into the outfield, move his guy up, and now he stands over at first base with Johnston stepping up to the plate.
So after getting a run back in the bottom half of the first, it's the Leafs pressing once again here as Doyle's first pitch missing low and inside, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch to Ryan Johnston is inside. 2 balls, no strikes here to the Maple Leafs center fielder. Looking to try and put the Leafs back out in front once again here. The look from Doyle. Pitch outside. 3 balls, no strikes.
If you're Doyle, you just got to zero in here and get ready to throw a pitch that can hopefully induce a ground ball. You don't have to worry about that runner at third. He's likely going to score. Runner at third, nobody out. The chances are very high he does. Focus on getting a ground ball, hopefully turning 2 and putting yourself in a much better spot.
Pitch called, a strike there. Johnson thought he had ball 4 all the way. Got himself 10 feet out of the box before that one was called a strike. Thought it was high, as you could see him motioning to the home plate umpire there.
Looks like Rup Chanardad going out to talk to his bullpen, potentially getting somebody up. Doyle in a tough spot here.
Pitch low, missing ball 4, and that'll load the bases with nobody out here. 29 pitches in the ball game for Doyle, and that will get a mound visit from Brent Wales as he comes out here to talk to his young left-hander.
Yeah, so bases are loaded for Grant Tamani now, who has had a pretty good season for the Toronto Maple Leafs as Brent Wales goes out to chat with Doyle, hopefully telling him, lock in, focus on the task at hand, get this guy out, then maybe get a couple. Hopefully he can get a ball on the ground to one of the corners and get the force out at home as action begins to, or as people get moving, I should say, in the Majors bullpen. Looks like Braden Farrington getting ready to throw.
So this is up to Robert Doyle to work himself out of a jam here in the top half of the second inning. It's Tamani at the bottom of the order here with the bases loaded, and the Leafs pressing. First pitch called a strike as he drops it in there, 0-1.
It's always good to see when your pitching coach comes out and the very first pitch you throw after that is a strike.
Curve ball, that one catches the outer portion of the zone, and it's quickly 0-2.
Good that Doyle has confidence in that breaking ball to just drop it in for a called strike.
Swung on and missed the strikeout, and a big one for Robert Doyle there as he gets Tamani on strikes. One gone here in the top of the second.
Really, really good strikeout there from Robert Doyle on Grant Tamani. He used just 3 pitches, got him out very quickly. That is the ideal situation, ideal scenario when the pitching coach comes out. The very next batter, you strike him out with ease. If he can get Castaldo to roll over on something, and I know that's very hard to do because he's Jordan Castaldo, but you're just a ground ball away from getting out of this inning.
Curveball goes to it again, drops that one in for a strike. 0-1 here on Castaldo. He grounded out to second base his last time, ball that Doyle had to get over on. Now comes up and in, that one missing 1-1.
Castaldo this season against left-handed pitchers is 3 for 12. 2 of those 3 hits are home runs.
The 1-1 delivery now. This one over to first base. Johnson gets it, tags first, and Doyle gets out of it. What a way to work as he gets the line out from Castaldo. And the Majors will blank the Leafs in the top of the second.
Really good job by Robert Doyle working his way out of that inning. That strikeout after Brent Wales came out to talk to him was huge. And then a little bit of luck goes the Majors' way as Julian Johnson has played perfectly for the line drive. Ryan Johnston over at first had no shot of getting back. Johnston gave him a look and then touched the bag. So a little bit of luck goes in the Majors' favor, and that allowed Doyle to work out of it unscathed.
So a few more hits in the inning for Toronto, but they will strand runners in scoring position after the double play ends it. And now the Majors will look to try and capitalize on that momentum moving into the bottom half of the second. Looks like Brendan Lyons is back out there for the Toronto Maple Leafs to start the bottom half of the second. Dylan, in that first inning, we did see some action down in the Maple Leafs bullpen, although we're not sure if that was just guys getting some work in, getting loose for the game itself, or actually getting ready to come into this ball game. There's no one down there now, but you'd like to think that Lyons can throw a couple innings here, a couple more at least, if he can keep the Majors within a couple runs.
That's the hope, I think, for Damon Toppoli and the Toronto Maple Leafs. But like we've mentioned, Lyons hasn't worked in a game yet this season, so he's probably pretty low pitch count-wise, and there is probably a hard cap. So when Lyons began running into a little bit of trouble with some runners on base, that's when they started to warm the bullpen up just in case. I think in a perfect world, the Maple Leafs get, 3 solid innings from Lyons, doesn't give up a run the rest of the way. He's still got to deal with Cleveland Brownlee, who's batting 6th and leading off this inning, Julian Johnson and Adam Fillman. But in a perfect world, Brendan Lyons works a couple more innings, and then the bullpen comes in. I'm sure they've been informed this is going to be a bullpen day once Lyons is out of gas, so they're ready. They've just got to stay warm.
Both these teams looking to use some of their bullpen arms in the ball game today. Of course, the London Majors, 2 more games this weekend. They're here tomorrow night against the Brantford Red Sox, and then they hit the road on Sunday. You can imagine that those 2 games, Dylan, are going to go something like De Los Santos Boone or Boone De Los Santos. But today, it's all up to the bullpen.
It is, Noah, as the bullpen gets to work against these Toronto Maple Leafs, but I would guess that it's Boone tomorrow, De Los Santos Sunday. Could be the opposite, as De Los Santos has not seen the Brantford Red Sox yet. I know you ideally don't want to have a pitcher face a team too much during the regular season. De Los Santos has never faced the Brantford Red Sox, and Boone has faced them once. Boone has faced them once and Hamilton once. De Los Santos just Hamilton the one time. I would expect De Los Santos and Boone to round out the weekend.
First pitch from Lyons outside here is the Majors' designated hitter, Cleveland Brownlee. Leads off the bottom half of the second inning.
Cleveland will be the first one to tell you that he's mired in a slump right now. He wants to break out of it.
Pitch off the plate again. Fastball missing to the London Majors slugger, who is off to a slow start this season. Not out of the ordinary for him, but it's about time that he breaks through. Let's see if he can get something to hit here from Lyons. This one hit on the ground, but foul down into the Majors bullpen, 2-1.
Lyons does have some good run on that fastball. He hasn't quite been able to locate it in the spots he wants yet. Missing outside a lot with it. We saw the one go by Chris McQueen and then the pitch to Humberto Ruiz that scored McQueen. Right there, just missed twice on the outside edge to Cleveland Brownlee before throwing one inside.
The 2-1 off-speed pitch is going to be fouled off by Brownlee. He was just out in front of that one. And the count will even up at 2-2.
Yeah, Lyons left that one hanging a little bit. Cleveland nearly punished him for that mistake, but he was just ahead of that ball and he fouled it back over the screen on top of the grandstand here at Labatt Park. Fans
trying to get behind Cleveland Brownlee here, see if he can do something to start the bottom of the second inning. The 2-2 pitch. This one fouled straight back into the screen once again. Brownlee staying alive here.
Lions doing a good job of not letting Cleveland get his arms extended. They're busting him inside quite a bit. We saw the first 2 pitches miss outside, and then the next 2 came inside on Cleveland, or the next 3, I should say. As long as you don't let him get his arms extended, he can't generate much power.
2-2 inside, and that one's going to hit the big man, and he'll head on down to first base. It's a leadoff hit for Cleveland Brownlee, and a leadoff man on.
We talked about the run on the fastball from Brendan Lyons, and right there was just another example of it. Had a lot of movement on that pitch, and he hasn't thrown yet this year for the Maple Leafs, so you wonder how much control he has over that movement. And that pitch right there just ran in on Brownlee, got him probably in the kneecap area, and he's aboard now for Julian Johnson.
Julian Johnson now with a man on to start this bottom half of the second inning. Lines to the plate, swung on and missed there. Came inside with a fastball. It's 0-1.
It seems the plan is against these big majors hitters to work them inside. We saw Byron got a pitch outside and he was able to drive it the opposite way as that pitch misses in the dirt. Brownlee was busted inside. Now Johnson gets some pitches inside. Hayden Jaco was jammed and rolled over on a ball towards third base. That seems to be the plan of action for these Toronto Maple Leafs.
The 1-1 now. This one swung on and missed. Johnson right through that one. 1 ball and 2 strike. Going inside on guys, Dylan, it works until it doesn't, right? It's one of those things where if a guy knows you're throwing inside and he gets one, a lot of those guys, that's their wheelhouse. The 1-2 now. Missing low, evens the count up at 2-2 on Johnson.
Yeah, for Lions, it's a balancing act of trying to get it far enough inside where they can't get to it as easily, but also finding the strike zone. Because if you're just throwing inside and you're missing, that's a bad spot to be.
Fastball called strike 3, catches the outside corner. 1 down.
Johnson goes down pretty quickly there as Adam Fillman steps up to the plate. Fillman had a bit of a slow start to his majors career, but heated up a little bit last weekend. Went 1 for 3 against the Hamilton Cardinals. I believe it was 2 for 4 against the Welland Jackfish last Friday night. He's now up to 250 on the season with the average. All of his hits, his 8 hits in 32 at-bats have been singles, Noah. Still searching for that first extra base hit.
Fillman behind 0-1. After the first pitch fastball from Lyons, who looks like he's settled in a bit here. After hitting Cleveland Brownlee to start the inning. That one in the dirt, 1-1.
Yeah, it does seem like he's been able to get better control over the strike zone, have an idea where it is and where he needs to work to have success against these majors hitters.
1-1 to the plate now. This one hit in the air left field. Tamane to the track. This one's carrying and it's gone! Adam Fillman's first extra base hit is a long ball, and the Majors lead 3-1.
Noah, as soon as he made contact with that pitch, that breaking ball, I thought he got a really big piece of that. It's got a chance. It just kept carrying and carrying and carrying. Tamani went back to the warning track and just looked up as it went over his head. Really good job by Adam Fillman, waiting on that breaking ball. I touched on it just before he hit that home run. He hadn't had an extra base hit this season. That'll boost the slugging percentage, going deep for his first home run as a London Major over the left field fence.
And what a way to do it as well. For Fillman grabbing the 2-run homer here in the bottom of the second inning. And the Majors a 3-1 lead, and now Kendall gets a hold of one in the air to left. Tracking to the wall, it's going to drop and go to the wall. Kendall into second base with a 1-out double. And if there's a way to follow up the home run, it's a double for Kendall.
Yeah, Keith Candell did a good job slicing that pitch to left field, and it seems the Majors are starting to figure out what Lyons has to offer. It's so tough when you're facing a new arm, an arm that you have never heard anything about before because this is his first start in the IBL. Some of the OCAA guys could have maybe given some information to this Majors ball club about Lyons, but these guys have not seen him at the IBL level. It's his first start in the IBL, and they're finally starting to catch on to his game plan.
Chris McQueen now for the Majors. Squares around a bunt, pulls back. It's there for a strike. 0-1. McQueen walked, stole a base, and came around to score the Majors' first run of the ball game in the bottom of the first inning. Now he's up with one out in the bottom of the second, and with Candell standing at second base. Squares around again, pulls back. That one just outside, 1-1.
No shock that Chris McQueen is squaring around a bunt in a sacrifice situation when you got a guy who can bunt like he can. Not a bad idea.
Both Topley and Salazzo still playing in here to guard against the bunt. Now McQueen hits that one over. Topley able to get up and get the grounder. Steps on first for the out, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Candell moving over to third on the play, but two gone.
Topley just positioned perfectly to play that ball. Might have been a little bit tougher if he had gotten a short hop playing at normal depth. Because he had to play in with the threat of the bunt from Chris McQueen, he was positioned in a great spot to make that play. Records the second out of the inning.
So Carlos Arteaga now with two gone in the inning. First pitch outside, 1-0 here as Lions falls behind in the count. Arteaga ground out to third base in his first at-bat of the ball game. Last inning, hits this one on the ground to second. Picked up, shoveled over to first in time to get Arteaga on the ground out, but the Majors will pick up 2 runs here in the bottom of the second inning, courtesy of the long ball. Adam Filman going deep for his first home run of the season. And it's 3-1 Majors. You're watching London Majors baseball here on Majors TV.
To donate and support families from your community, visit your local McDonald's to buy a Happy Meal and round up your order, or visit rmhc-swo.ca.
Welcome to Labatt Park, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Don't miss your chance to walk the same field as some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts inside the original clubhouse. Book your tour at labattparktours.ca.
If you'd like to wish a very special happy birthday, please.
Welcome to Modern Health and Performance. The MHP team here provides patient-centered care custom to your needs. One-on-one treatment, assessing and treating the cause. Get back to doing what you love. Offering chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage, and custom orthotics. Our team is here for you. Book your appointment online today. New patients always welcomed.
We'll welcome you back inside Labatt Memorial Park here. A lot of Majors out in front, 3-1 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Picking up another 2 runs in the bottom half of the second inning, and that'll have Robert Doyle working with the lead for the first time tonight, and he gets ahead with a curveball there, 0-1.
Didn't seem too comfortable in that second inning. Doyle out there on the mound. Perhaps the lead can change that.
That one in the dirt, scooped up by Hayden Jaco. 1 ball and 1 strike now on the catcher in the ball game, Justin Mara. Fastball just inside, 2-1. Mara doubled, scored in the first inning for Toronto.
Nearly hit that one out of the ballpark, Noah, when he doubled in the first inning. It's driven home on the Sean Riley single.
Doyle bouncing another one there. 3 balls and a strike here to the Maple Leafs catcher, who will look to try and start the inning and get on base here for Toronto. Majors lefty comes to the plate. That one's there for a strike. And now the count moves to full at 3-2.
We've seen a couple of those instances where the Maple Leafs have thought that it's been a ball and it's been called a strike. They're still getting a sense of the strike zone. Interested to see what Doyle comes with here in a full count.
The 3-2, this one hit right back up the middle, and it'll be a leadoff base hit here for Mara and the Maple Leafs.
If Chris McQueen is playing normal depth, if he's in his normal spot, he's got a shot at making that play up the middle, but because he was shifted with Mara at the plate, he was moved over towards the right side. No chance that he could get to that ball. Keith Candell playing in his normal position. Nobody was going to get there.
So now Sean Riley will come to the dish. He had that RBI single to score Mara in the first inning. Now he's got him on base once again here, this time at first. Facing off against Doyle, and we see Farrington continue to warm down in the London Majors bullpen. Doyle to the plate, bounces that one, 4 feet in front of the plate. Jaco able to block up. Ball and no strikes.
Good block there by Hayden Jaco. Not super necessary when there's nobody on base, but when there's a runner on base like Mara is now, you got to keep everything in front of you to not give away a free 90 feet.
Doyle working here. His 42nd pitch of the ball game coming. Pitch outside. Missing 2-0 now against the dangerous Sean Riley.
Another miss there. You still got to be cautious with Riley, despite the fact that first base is not open in this at-bat. You got to be safe. Make sure that you don't give him a pitch that he can handle.
Doyle now checks on first, comes to the plate here. Riley hits that one hard, and it's into left field for a base hit, his second of the ball game. And for the Majors, luckily, it's just a base hit. And it has runners on first and second here. Nobody out as the Leafs once again pressing here in the top of the third.
Yeah, it feels like they've had a chance to score in every inning, only capitalized on the one in the first. It was two very similar hits for Sean Riley, both of them hard hit singles into left field. Another one right there. This time, Mara, though, was not in scoring position and could not get home from second base. He was over at first in this at-bat. So now the Maple Leafs have first and second for Garrett Takamatsu, who's got a great chance to drive at least one home, possibly two if he gets one deep enough into the gap.
Takamatsu able to cue that one off the end of the bat, foul. So it's 0-1 here. Is Doyle able to get ahead on this batter? Struck out Takamatsu his last time up. Put him down on strikes for the first out of that inning, top of the first. Now he's looking to try and get his first out here at the top of the third with a pair of runners on. Bounces one in the dirt. Mara thought about it, but he's going to hold that two. Count evens up at a ball and a strike.
On a ball in the dirt there, Noah, any hesitation that you may have as a base runner, you have to stay at that base, because if you hesitate for one moment, that can be the difference between you being safe and out. So good job by Mara. He had second thoughts and stayed, did not try to force it.
This one hit on the ground, third base, but foul. So a ball and two strikes now is Doyle looking for a big first out.
If you're Doyle, you could work for the double play and get two outs, but I think you got to go for the strikeout. Retire a very good hitter in Takamatsu. With Salazzo, the lefty, on deck, you may have a better shot of getting him to roll over on one versus Takamatsu. So we'll see what he does here.
Majors fans trying to get behind Doyle here. The 1-2 pitch. This one hit on the ground. Arteaga diving play. Goes to two in time. Back to one. They'll only get to one, but it might have saved a run.
Phenomenal play there over at third base by Carlos Arteaga on a dive, getting in front of that ball. He had no shot of getting over to third base because he was diving to his left towards second. Made the only throw he could, which was to second base. Got Sean Riley over there, but not in time to get Takamatsu at first. Because it was hit so hard, Arteaga took an extra second on the ground to recover from that ball, threw it to second, and that was the difference between them getting Takamatsu at first and him reaching on what will be scored a fielder's choice. But now they're runners at the corners with one out. On the bright side, a ground ball similar to that one could get the Majors out of the inning.
Jonathan Salazzo to the plate now. Doyle was able to get him swinging in the first inning. We'll see if they can get him to ground out here and get them out of another jam in the top of the third. Judging by the Majors bullpen, Don, I'd say that Farrington is ready to go if needed.
Looks like it.
Here in this top of the third, Doyle checks one. Now comes to the plate. That one in the dirt. Off to second is Takamatsu, and he's in there without a throw. And that'll eliminate the double play.
You know, I talked about the hesitation with Mara over at second base. Takamatsu got a great read on that ball. Saw that it was dropping. Takamatsu is a catcher as well, so he knows how to read a ball as it comes in from the pitcher's mound. Read it over from first base. Saw it was going to be in the dirt. Bounced in front of Hayden Jaco, who did a good job of smothering it, but because Takamatsu got a running start, he was able to move up to second.
Robert Doyle behind 2-0 here. This one swung on and missed. Salazzo right through that one.
Marcus Connect, who is on deck, laced a single in his first at-bat, so you'd like to get Salazzo any way you can here to avoid loading him up, although there is a base open.
This one swung on and missed again. Salazzo was up 2-0, and now the count back to 2-2 after two straight swinging strikes. And Doyle once again getting cheered on by this hometown crowd to try and put down Salazzo. The 2-2 in the dirt. Count moves to full.
I just want to go back to that strike two pitch from Robert Doyle. A lot of pitchers shy away from throwing the changeup to the same-handed hitters because they're afraid it'll get low and inside, which is a wheelhouse on both sides. That changeup had enough dive on it to get under the bat of Salazzo.
3-2, swung on, missed, got him with the strikeout, a big one for Doyle, and there's two gone.
Doyle has run into some trouble, giving up 6 hits over 2 2/3 innings, but when he's needed to, he's gotten big outs. We saw that over there at third base with Carlos Artiega making the play. The line drive double to Julian Johnson. Those are two plays that are a little bit lucky because they were hit hard, but a big strikeout there. We saw a big strikeout in the second inning. He stays calm out there on the mound under this pressure of having two guys in scoring position, able to get a big out there. Now it doesn't matter whether it's in the air or on the ground. They can get out of this inning so long as it's an out.
First pitch is going to miss outside here to Marcus Connect. He's able to get on base with a hard hit his first time up in the second inning. And now he'll look to do so again in the top half of the third, this time with runners in scoring position. Leafs already stranded 2 last inning. They don't want to do so again. This one inside 2-0.
Doyle's got to come right after him. Was down 2-0 on Salazzo, and Connect certainly favored in this matchup, righty versus righty. But Damon Toppoli, who had a hard hit single, is on deck. You're never really out of the woods with this Maple Leafs lineup, so he's just got to go after these hitters.
2-0 delivery, swung on and missed there by Connect. It's 2-1. Give Doyle the credit of working back when he's got in trouble. And now you got to imagine he's going to have to get out of this one to see any more action in this ball game. The 2-1 now from the left-hander. Swung on and missed on a fastball up high. It's 2-2.
I just talked about how Doyle stays calm in the big spots. Got a strikeout of Salazzo there. Was down 2-0 to Marcus Connect, who lined a single off him his last at-bat. Gets 2 big swings and misses. A strike away from getting out of it, and this big crowd here at Labatt Park would certainly enjoy that.
Doyle grabs his sign here on 2-2. To the plate, that one in the dirt on the off speed. And the count will move to full now.
Looked like a breaking ball there from Robert Doyle. Did not get Connect to bite on it. Although it did have good break, just didn't get the swing. We'll see what he comes with 3-2. The last full count he had, he threw a fastball.
3-2 now. Doyle grabs his sign to the plate. Upstairs, ball 4. No, they got him.
Wow.
That was a late call,
yeah.
And it's strike 3 to end the inning.
Marcus Connect cannot believe it at the plate. It was a very delayed call from the home plate umpire. Looked to be maybe an inch above Connect's belt. Looked like it was out of the strike zone, but Doyle gets the call, and I'm sure he'll take it. It's his 5th strikeout of the ball game, and another one in a big spot. It was in danger of loading the bases for the Maple Leafs, in a good spot in their order, although their whole order seems like a good spot. Got a clutch strikeout there.
So the Majors out in front 3-1. Doyle able to work out of the jam there. and get the strikeout. Moving to the bottom of the third inning, though, Dylan, you can't get into trouble every inning. It's got to come to a point where you either got to switch things up or Doyle's got to have himself a clean one to stay in this ball game. I would imagine with his pitch count sitting where it is at around 60 pitches, we might see the bullpen sooner than later.
It's possible that Roop Chanadat just pulls the trigger after this inning, and that's the end of Robert Doyle's night. He's at 61 pitches so far in the ball game. Farrington is ready out there in the bullpen. He's been throwing in both of the last 2 innings, although not consecutively and aggressively. I think he's ready to go, and I think he's gearing up for a 4th inning appearance here for the Majors.
Well, Dylan, let's go ahead and check out the out-of-town scoreboard. A couple other games going around the Inter-County Baseball League tonight. Welland out in front big over the Hamilton Cardinals so far early in that ball game. Over in Kitchener, it's the Panthers enjoying a 4-2 lead over the Brantford Red Sox. Boston Red Sox up 1-0 on the Toronto Blue Jays. And then, Dylan, probably the biggest one of the day for any Canadian team is Team Canada, the women's soccer team, grabbing gold 2-1 over Sweden.
That was a very exciting game to watch, Noah, and, you know, in the penalty kicks, I was on the edge of my seat. Lots of nerves going around. I saw somebody tweet that they had no nerves after that game. No nerves left, I should say. Canada with a big 2-1 win there, capturing the gold. Well deserved. I mean, they had a really big tournament in the 2012 Olympics that kind of put them on the soccer map. So many people have fought to grow that Canadian women's national team, and they finally get rewarded with a gold medal in the Olympics. Awesome to see, an awesome moment for the country.
8th place in 2008 in Beijing. They grabbed the bronze in 2012 in London, another bronze 2016 in Rio. Dylan, you got to imagine this team was just looking for that breakthrough, and finally they get it at the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo here in the summer of 2021.
Yeah, Christine Sinclair said before the tournament, I believe it was Christine Sinclair, who might be one of the greatest Canadian athletes we've seen on a big stage, said they wanted to change the color of the medal. From bronze, they get it to gold. They're on top of the podium and on top of the women's soccer stage after the Olympics.
Humberto Ruiz to lead things off. High hopper on the ground ball. Throw across in time. So it's a very quick first out here to start the bottom of the 3rd inning. And that'll be just fine out there for Brendan Lyons. He'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, he most certainly will. A bit of a tough play for Salazzo because as a third baseman, you're not really sure what you want to do on that ball. Do you come in, try to get it on the big hop, but then you run the risk of that hop being too high and getting over your head? Do you step back and risk the short hop? He just reached up, made the play, threw it to first, and retired Ruiz with relative ease.
So now Byron Reichstein will come to the plate here with a man gone in the bottom of the 3rd inning. First pitch going to miss inside, low as well, 1-0. To Byron, dropping it in there for a strike, 1-1.
Looked like he took something off of that pitch to Byron on the outside corner, got a called strike 1. Of course, Byron laced a double to left field that carried over the head of Grant Tamani in his first at-bat.
Pitch missing outside, 2 balls and a strike here on the Majors right fielder.
We've seen Byron play some first base as well this season in right field today, though.
A 2-1 pitch going to miss inside. 3 balls and a strike now. Byron looking to find any way to get on with a man out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Majors have put up runs in each of the first 2. 1 in the first, 2 in the bottom of the 2nd. Swung on and missed there. That one fouled off, and now the home plate umpire will give Maple Leafs catcher Justin Marr a little bit of time after that foul ball.
Always enjoy that courtesy as a catcher. When you get hit with a foul ball, the umpire always takes his time to get the new ball to the pitcher to make sure you're all right and ready to go for the next pitch.
It's a full count here to Byron Reichstein. Brendan Lyons back out here for the bottom of the 3rd inning for Toronto. Now the 3-2. Reichstein popped up on the infield. Sky high. Topley's coming in from first base. Lyons calling him off, and he's going to drop it. Reichstein will reach on what will be scored as an E1.
Strange play there. It was a long run for Damon Topley, who was guarding the line with Byron's power. typically you don't let a pitcher call you off as a first baseman, but for Toppoli, he knew he had a long run. I'm not sure he was fully confident he was going to get to that ball, so Lyons called him off. Lyons was wondering the same thing, and that was okay with Toppoli. He said, okay, if you got a better shot at it, you take it. Lyons got it off the palm of his glove. It just fell right out, so it's an error on him.
It's easy to look at where that ball dropped and say, how did the first baseman, second baseman not get that? But they were both playing back with Reichstein's power. Of course, the lefty bat. They were playing on the edge of the infield. That's a long run for them to get. But under any circumstance, you don't want the pitcher having to be the one to try and catch that ball. Results in an error, and now the Majors have a man on. This one hit but foul down the left field line. 0 balls and 2 strikes here on Hayden Jaco.
Good pitch there from Lyons, getting it in on Jaco. He hit it hard, but it was so far inside that all he was able to do was just yank it foul.
Jaco, the victim of a ground out his first time up over to third base. It's in an 0-2 count here. Fastball just outside. Lyons doesn't get the call. It's 1-2.
Jaco was tempted to go after that pitch there, elected not to, and now in a somewhat better spot, although it is still a major advantage for the pitcher. Lyons ahead with 2 strikes.
The 1-2 from Lyons swung on and missed. Jaco chasing that one in the dirt, and there's 2 gone.
We saw that Hayden Jaco was tempted to go after that last pitch, didn't, was able to lay off. This one, though, Lyons gets a swing and a miss.
Strikeout will bring Cleveland Brownlee to the plate here.
Sorry to interrupt you, Noah. His last time up, Lyons had a fastball that ran too far inside and clipped Brownlee on the leg.
Reached base and scored on the home run. First pitch there for a strike to the big man, 0-1. Brownlee hitting today in a not so familiar spot of the lineup down in the 6 hole. Off-speed pitch. This one hit hard, but lined out to third base. Is Salazzo right there on the line to make the grab, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 3rd inning. No runs for the Majors here in the bottom of 3. We'll stay where we are as we head to the 4th on Majors TV. Majors enjoying a 3-1 lead.
Welcome to Labatt Park, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Don't miss your chance to walk the same field as some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts inside the original clubhouse. Book your tour at labattparktours.ca.
Welcome to Modern Health and Performance. The MHP team here provides patient-centered care custom to your needs. One-on-one treatment, assessing and treating the cause. Get back to doing what you love. Offering chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage, and custom orthotics. Our team is here for you. Book your appointment online today. New patients always welcomed. Dr. Alex Colson, official chiropractor of the London Majors.
We welcome you back here to London, Ontario, Labatt Memorial Park. Here's the Majors and Maple Leafs doing battle in Inter-County Baseball League action. 3-1 the score here for the London Majors, and don't we get to see a new pitcher onto the mound here in relief of Robert Doyle as Braden Farrington comes into the game.
Braden Farrington comes into this ball game just 3 strikeouts away from 100 in his IBL career. Of course, that does count the game against Kitchener that is currently suspended, but he is 3 away from 100 in his IBL career, so he'll look to accomplish that here, hopefully providing some distance as well for the Majors.
First pitch is across for a strike here as Farrington gets ahead on Demontopoli, who will be in to lead things off here for Toronto. Finds himself trailing by a couple of runs here on the top of the 4th inning. Off speed, dropped in there by Farrington, 0-2.
Good breaking ball there from Braden Farrington. It's a pitch he likes to go to. That one just dropped right into the strike zone.
Now ready, 0-2 here from the Majors right-hander. Farrington, off-speed pitch, called strike 3, swung strike 3. And he's down on strikes for the first out of the inning.
Great breaking ball there from Braden Farrington. He's now 2 away from 100 in his IBL career as he gets a quick strikeout of Damon Topley. When he's on, he's got the breaking balls working, and right there we saw an example of that. When he's got that movement that he likes, he typically has success.
There's days where you can just tell Farrington is comfortable on the mound, Dylan, and if that first at-bat is any indication, he's dialed in today. The 1-0 pitch, this one hit on the ground into left field for a base hit. So just as I speak up there, the Leafs will be on with a 1-out base hit.
Not a bad pitch there from Braden Farrington. Got it inside on Johnston, but he was able to get it in the hole between Keith Candell and Carlos Artiega and into left field. So Toronto's got a base runner as Grant Tamani steps up to the plate. Tamani, in his first time up, struck out swinging in a big spot against Robert Doyle. And going back to Doyle's outing, I'm sure it wasn't perfect, but he got big outs when he needed them, and that was so huge, and that's why the Majors are still in the lead.
Farrington's first pitch of the at-bat there for a strike here.
He knows he's got it working. He knows that he can drop it in for a called strike or generate a swing and a miss when he wants to.
Now to the plate, that one in the dirt. Jaco able to block that one and keep him where he is over at first base. Now the look from Farrington, grabs his sign. To the plate, this one popped up, foul territory. Johnson will give it a look, but it'll head 4 or 5 rows deep. A nice catch made in the grandstand.
You know, it's funny, Noah, of course, your game back. Jackson and I were talking about last Saturday how not as many fans were making these catches. They didn't bring gloves out to the games anymore. We were complaining about it, and in your return, somebody makes a great catch on the right side.
Pitch just outside on 1-2. We'll even the count up at 2-2. Mentioned a few times in the ball game tonight, a good crowd out here at Labatt Park, Dylan. If this place really does hold 5,000, there's got to be 3 here tonight.
Maximum capacity is 3,300 with Ontario being in stage 3 of the COVID reopening plan, and I'd say we're pretty close to that tonight, Noah, if we aren't at 3,300.
2-2 from Farrington. Up and in. He's going to miss and move the count to full, and with one gone, he'll be interesting to see what the Leafs do with the runner. We'll keep an eye on him over there at first base. You see him, not an overly big lead for Johnston. Pitch called strike 3. Another punch out there for Farrington, and there's 2 gone.
Braden Farrington now at 99 strikeouts in his IBL career as he gets a called strikeout there on Grant Tamani, trying to work his way to 100. That pitch nearly got Tamani, but it caught the inside corner according to the home plate umpire, and now Jordan Castaldo steps up. Definitely a tough bat to face.
So Castaldo now up, and so far in the ball game, he hasn't had any luck. 0 for 2. Pitch just outside from Farrington. It's 1-0. Johnson over at first base, not taking a big lead. Farrington will look at him slightly, but maintains control as now this one hit by Castaldo. Left field, Ruiz, long run to come and get that one, but just inside the line, he'll make the grab, and that will do it in the top half of the 4th. Majors shut down the Toronto Maple Leafs. Braden Farrington with 2 strikeouts, putting him 1 away from 100 in his IBL career. And now the Majors will head back to the bats.
Yeah, Majors have a chance to add on some runs for Farrington, newly entered into the ball game. Good play there by Humberto Ruiz. Had a long way to run to go get that ball, and with his speed, he was able to make the grab. I was wondering if he was going to make the play. He did, just inside the foul line.
So with Farrington in to shut down the Leafs in the top half of the fourth inning, Robert Doyle, we talked about how his start didn't go probably exactly how he wanted it to go, Dylan. Got into a lot of trouble, got his pitch count up, but in 3 innings of work, I think if you were to look at this at the start of the ball game and say Doyle's going to give you 3 innings of work and give up 1 run, you'd take that any game of the year.
Absolutely you would, Noah, and especially with the offense that the London Majors have. Rupe Chanardant knows that they can score at any point in any ball game, and if Doyle can hold this high-powered Toronto Maple Leafs offense to just 1 run, that's huge for this team. And although it was just 3 innings, he got some big strikeouts, got some big outs when he needed them, and overall, you know, maybe not mechanically the way he wanted it to go, but a pretty successful outing for Robert Doyle.
The London Majors pitching staff this season has been off to a really good start. They've been keeping the numbers down, and we talk about the Majors offense and how well they've been doing, putting up runs, manufacturing runs, but it's been the pitching staff, I think, that has really pulled this team to where they are in the Intercounty Baseball League. They are far and away the team with the lowest earned runs. I believe they have 24 coming into today's ball game. Next closest team at 41, Dylan. So they're doing a fantastic job at keeping the runners off base and making sure they don't come around to score.
Yeah, and we've made a lot about this Majors lineup because we've seen the 12-1 games against Toronto, the 16-3 games against Welland. But you notice in those scores, Noah, 1 run for Toronto, 3 runs for Welland. The pitching staff has been keeping these teams off the scoreboard throughout the season, and it's become an underrated part of this Majors ball club.
When the offense can be good, it's great, but when you can get the pitching staff to keep the other team under 3 runs, especially here in the Intercounty Baseball League, you're going to win a lot of ball games. And now the Majors will come in the bottom of the 4th inning to look and try and add on to this lead. They have a 3-1 lead here at Labatt Memorial Park. Brendan Lyons back out to the mound for Toronto. Looking to try and get as many innings out of him as he can, as that one swung on and missed.
Despite the 3 runs he's given up, Lyons just at 50 pitches through 3 innings.
Just 3 hits as well for the Majors. It was the one long ball that really put the dent in the scoreboard, so to speak, 3-1. Pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike now. Julian Johnson struck out his last time to the plate. Now he's either lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. This one hit on the ground but foul, third base side.
You know, Julian Johnson would like to do something here against his former team. Even though they did separate on good terms, you still want to make an impact against them.
Lyons has a look, comes to the plate on 2-2. That one low in the dirt. Mara had to block it and keep that ball in front of him on 2 strikes, but it's 3-2 now. Lyons in danger of walking the leadoff man. It's got to come right at Johnson here on 3-2. To the plate, Johnson hits that one in the air to left, hanging up there, and it's going to be caught out in left field, chasing that one down for out number 1.
Good play there by Grant Tamani, chasing after that ball into left field. Julian Johnson right there hit it pretty deep, I should say, but he was jammed on that ball. He got it in on his hands and just lifted it out to left field. It hung up for Tamani to make the play and record the first out.
And so now the man of the hour comes to the plate here, as Adam Philman, who homered his last time up, comes to the plate, takes a first pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. Philman got a pitch he liked in his first at-bat back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Was able to deposit it over the left field wall. Grounds this one over to second. Throw takes Topley off the bag, but Philman will be tagged out, and that is out number 2 here in the bottom of the 4th.
Good play there, especially by Damon Topley on the other end. He was pulled off the bag, like you mentioned, Noah, but was able to put the tag on Adam Philman, who homered his last time up. And that's a 2nd out for Brendan Lyons, who is making quick work of the Majors so far in this bottom of the 4th inning.
That'll bring up Keith Candell to the plate. Candell also drove one deep to left in his first at-bat of the ball game. Went down as a double. Now he's going to swing with 2 gone in the bottom of the 4th inning. Could try and start a little bit of a 2-out rally if he can turn the lineup over. Hits this one on the ground to third. Picked up, long throw from Salazzo is going to be in time to get Candell, and that will do it for the Majors in the bottom half of the fourth inning. No runs here for either side in the fourth. We'll go to break. London Majors leading Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1 here on London Majors Baseball on Majors TV.
Welcome to Labatt Park, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Don't miss your chance to walk the same field as some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts inside the original clubhouse. Book your tour at labattparktours.ca.
Welcome back to the Forks of the Thames here in downtown London. Labatt Memorial Park, the site of this one. Inter-County Baseball League action here on what has turned out to be a gorgeous Friday night in London. A good crowd taking in this one as the London Majors leading 3-1. Top of the fifth inning, we move along, and Braden Farrington back out to the mound here. Working in his second inning of work. Swearing around a bunt there, but that one going to miss ball one. Farrington, an 0-1 delivery here as he grabs his sign. Pitch just going to miss outside. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Farrington had 2 punch-outs back in the top of the fourth inning. Those 2 strikeouts putting him within 1 of 100 in his IBL career. 3-0 now to the leadoff man in the inning as Farrington falls behind. Look now, delivery. Righty gets one across there. 3 balls and a strike here. This one hit in the air, right field. Reichstein doesn't see it, but that's because it's about 20 feet over the wall in right. A solo home run to lead off the inning.
Not exactly the way you want to start the inning if you're Braden Farrington. We saw Mara almost hit one out last time up. Or sorry, in his first time up, I should say. Byron couldn't find that ball, but it was over the fence at that point. You could hear the Majors dugout yelling, back, 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 as in to run back on it, but it was over the fence. So a home run for Justin Mara, and all of a sudden it's a 1-run game.
So the Leafs able to get one back here in the top of the fifth inning. Justin Mara leading things off with a solo home run, sending that one about 20, 25 feet over the wall in right center, just to the right of the scoreboard. Farrington now comes inside. That one almost hit Sean Riley, who's been on base twice tonight, has 2 hits, 2 hard hit singles to left field.
Pretty much identical hits both times, Noah, just lasers into left field.
Farrington off speed, this one hit hard, and there's another hard hit single for Sean Riley, his 3rd hit of the ball game, and it's going to be a runner on with nobody out here, as Farrington having some trouble with the heart of the Leafs order, as many do, and now the Leafs cooking here once again in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, it's a tough part of the lineup, Noah. The heart of this Maple Leafs order. You got Sean Riley, Justin Mara, Jordan Castaldo right off the top. Takamatsu, Salazzo, Connect, Toppoli. There is no real easy out in there. And another hard base hit for Sean Riley. Arteaga was shifted to the left, nearly made that play, but was unable to do so.
That one comes in, and it's going to hit him. Looked like the fastball up in the zone by Farrington, and now put Takamatsu on. And a pair of runners on now for the Leafs with nobody out.
I got him on the forearm there, it seemed, to Takamatsu. So 2 runners on with nobody out, as you mentioned. Jonathan Salazzo steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with 2 swinging strikeouts. But those are both against Robert Doyle. Completely different game now with Farrington out there on the mound. A righty versus the lefty Salazzo. We'll see if he's able to have more success now against Farrington.
Farrington now working in a little bit of trouble, and this will draw a mound visit here from Brent Wales, as he will come out to chat with the London Majors righty out of the pen. And Farrington, not the way you want to start this inning, not the way you drew it up. A home run, base hit, and then a hit batter. And still nobody gone as Salazzo comes to the dish.
It's a good mound visit here for Brent Wales coming out to talk to Braden Farrington ahead of this Salazzo at-bat. Salazzo obviously favored in this matchup with being the lefty at the plate. He's a very tough lefty as well. After giving up the home run and then a base hit followed by a hit by pitch, it's good that Brent is coming out just to chat with Farrington. Calm him down, make sure they have the correct game plan.
Majors have force outs across the infield, so glass half full mentality here. They can get a double play ball if they can roll one over. Farrington going to step off and regroup on the mound here. First pitch to Salazzo. That one missing low, 1-0. Salazzo 2 strikeouts, as you mentioned, Dylan. Both those coming against the lefty. His first look at a right-hand arm in the ballgame.
Yeah, Majors have only 1 lefty in the bullpen, I believe, and that is Jared Lund, who is throwing, if I'm not mistaken, out there.
Big cut at that one as Salazzo right through what looked like a changeup from Farrington, 1-1.
It was a steady diet of off-speed pitches from Robert Doyle to Jonathan Salazzo that he swung through for the most part. Good one there from Braden Farrington.
Won't be surprised if Jaco Farrington come back with more of those. This pitch going to miss low. 2 balls and a strike here.
Can confirm that that is Jared Lund warming up in the Majors bullpen.
Farrington missing again on 2-1. Now it's 3 balls and a strike, and he's in danger of walking the bases loaded.
Yeah, Farrington started this at-bat all right with a ball and then a swinging strike from Salazzo, but has missed the last 2 pitches. Got to throw him a strike here.
3-1. Missing, ball 4, and that'll load the bases here for the Leafs in the top of the 5th inning.
Marcus Connect coming up to the plate. Noah, and Connect in his first at-bat laced a single over the head of the shortstop Keith Candell into left center field. One of those here would score 2.
Farrington looks like, although there is Lund warming in the bullpen, he is going to have to try and at least work out some of this jam on his own. Nobody out, bases loaded. And the Maple Leafs really pressing here in the top of 5. First pitch is there for a strike, 0-1.
Good breaking ball there from Farrington to get ahead in the count to Connect. Hoping to get a strikeout or a pop out here. That would be ideal to get at least 1 out, position yourself well for an inning-ending double play, and then allow a run to score.
That one misses outside. Farrington trying to give him something to swing at. get him to chase on a ball just outside, just off the plate. Didn't get him to bite. Ball and a strike.
Farrington has thrown 27 pitches, only 13 of them for strikes. That's less than half.
This one fouled straight back on the off speed. Ball and 2 strikes here. Farrington looking to try and get the first out of the inning. Leafs really pressing here. They've been all over the bases so far in the ball game. Majors have been fortunate enough to just hold them to 2 runs. They're looking to bust this one open a bit. Pitch by Farrington, just up. Thought he might have got the call for the strikeout, did not. It's 2-2.
Marcus Connect is saying, well, I think the pitch in my last at-bat was further out of the strike zone than that one. But this time it's the ball, and last time it was a strike, just the way it goes in baseball sometimes. So a 2-2 count here as Farrington works to connect.
2-2 by Farrington. Off speed, got him swinging. Strikeout for the first out of the inning, and if our math is correct up here, Dylan, strikeout 100 for Farrington in his IBL career.
That is strikeout number 100 for Braden Farrington, so congratulations to him. It comes against Marcus Connect of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Good for Braden getting number 100 in. He's been in the league for a while and gets the big century mark there.
Not out of it yet, though, despite the milestone strikeout. He's got a jam here. Bases loaded as he faces Topley, and that one, that come in and hit him, Dylan?
I think the home plate umpire
is calling time on Jaco getting hit by it.
I don't know. I think he called that it hit him, but then Topley didn't react, so he never officially announced the hit by pitch, just called time. Tried to play it off smooth by cleaning the mound off.
No, I'm thinking that is a foul ball, Dylan.
Is it really?
Called it 0-1, so it looks like Farrington will get ahead of him after all. This one hit on the ground, second base. They got time. Into 2, across to 1, got him at 1. Farrington turns the double play to get out of the jam. Leafs will grab just the 1, and the Majors will retain the 3-2 lead.
We talked about how he wanted a pop out or a strikeout against Marcus Connect. That's exactly what he got. He got a strikeout, positioned himself for the inning-ending double play. That's exactly what he got. Got Topley to roll over on a ball towards shortstop. Candell, McQueen, Johnson, they get the double play.
So a great job there by the London Majors defense, working out of a jam for what seems like the 100th time in the ball game, Dylan. But they'll use that to their advantage, take a 3-2 lead into the bottom half of the 5th inning. And we'll move along here to try and add on to their lead if they can. For the London Majors, man, you got to get some runs across after you bail yourself out of another inning on defense. And this is the time of the ball game. I'm not sure if we're going to see lines or a new arm for Toronto, but you got to go out there and you got to put some runs across.
Yeah, it looks like we will get a new arm for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll get you who that is momentarily. It's hard to tell with their dark jersey numbers on those blue jerseys, but you do need some runs here if you are the London Majors. After giving up 1 there, now only up 1 run, you need some insurance, possibly preparing to continue to work, or with Jared Lund coming into the ball game shortly, you'd like to give him a cushion. That is Michael Asta Jr., Michael Asta. He is a junior player. That always messes with me on those lineup cards, Noah. I call them a junior every time, but they are just a call-up player. So Michael Asta comes into the ballgame for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So far this season, Asta has pitched in 2 games, given up 13 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. Those numbers are slightly skewed due to a game against the Barrie Baycats in which the Baycats won 20-19. That's not to make an excuse for Asta, but everybody was hitting that day at Christie Pitts, so he's given up 13 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. Was actually the losing pitcher in that game against Barrie.
So Asta into the ball game here for Toronto, who despite all their runners on base are trailing by a run in this ball game. Dylan, 9 hits for Toronto so far through their first 5 at-bats. The Majors have 3 runs coming on just 3 hits. And that, as we've said in the ball game tonight, is that's how baseball works sometimes.
Absolutely it is. Sometimes you get a lot of hits if you're the Maple Leafs and you only have 2 runs to show for it. You're down. You have 6 more hits than the opponent. But the Majors, they've got 3 hits. They've got 3 runs. It was the big home run for Adam Fillman. And then the single for Chris McQueen. He worked his way all the way around the bases and a wild pitch scored him.
It'll be Chris McQueen to lead off the bottom of the 5th here for London. So far in the ball game, he's had some success. Scored the Majors' first run on a walk, stolen base, and coming around to score. And then was out on an unassisted play at first base in his second at-bat. Squares around to bunt, gets this one down, but it'll go foul. Something we haven't seen the Majors use a lot of so far in the ball game is that small ball that we've seen them use throughout the course of this season.
The Toronto Maple Leafs have been wary of it, however, throughout the ball game today, because you never know when the Majors are going to employ it. Roof Chanadap, Brent Wales, they like to use that. McQueen squaring around a bunt there, the first guy to square around and actually lay one down instead of just pull it back.
The 0-1 pitch missing low, a ball and a strike. Look for Masta, that one outside, 2-1. Masta into the ball game after the Maple Leafs starter Brendan Lyons goes 4 innings of work, just giving up the 3 runs on 3 hits. Overall, a good start. First IBL start of the season as McQueen fouls that one off and out of play towards the parking lot. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
We wondered what Asta's pitch count was going to be. He finished with 58 pitches, so right around 60, which is, I believe, close to or exactly what we predicted in the pregame show. Was not able to work too deep into this ball game, but worked pretty efficiently. 60 pitches over 4 innings is right around where you'd like to be. Gave up the 3 runs on just 3 hits.
2-2 now. McQueen popped up sky high on the infield. Asta giving way. And over there coming in just behind the mound is the third baseman, Salazzo, to make the catch. 1 gone.
Asta saw the way that the play went down when Toppoli gave way to his pitcher earlier on in the ball game. Did not want a repeat of that. Got out of the way immediately. Let Salazzo take charge. Obviously different situation because the infield was not shifted. But they get the out there against Chris McQueen as Carlos Artiega steps up to the plate.
Dylan, whenever I'm out on the mound and I get a pop fly, I am the first guy to go running away from the ball.
Why do pitchers not like catching those fly balls? I don't understand.
It's tough.
Is it off the hill?
Quite frankly, it's not my job. There's 4 other guys on the infield and a catcher that can do a whole lot better of a job at it than I can. First pitch there for a strike to Carlos Artiega. 0-1 now with 1 gone.
You mentioned the other infielders, Noah. I can speak to this as a catcher. It's tough to catch a ball as a backstop. You got to turn yourself around and try to find that ball to make the play.
And quite the curveball there from Asta. Took a lot off that one, looped it in there, and when you're not expecting it, takes that one for a strike. 0-2. Artiega had to reach for it, grounded over the third. Salazzo in time to get Artiega at first base. 2 gone.
Good play there by Jonathan Salazzo going to his left. He's recorded both of the outs in this inning. That one on the ground ball, the first on the pop fly, and 2 quick ones for Asta in the bottom of the 5th.
That'll bring up Humberto Ruiz to the dish here. He's had no luck through 2 at-bats so far in the ball game. Flew out to left, grounded to third. Those both against Brendan Lyons, the starter. Now we'll get a chance against Asta, the reliever. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch just missing out there, 1-0.
Ruiz hit 1 ball hard against Lyons towards the left center field gap. Didn't have enough on it to get past Tamani or over the wall.
Big cut there, and it's a ball and a strike.
Ruiz with a big swing at that pitch.
Asta takes his time but grabs his sign now. Comes to the plate, just off, 2-1. Skips that one to the backstop. 3 balls and a strike now on Ruiz.
Ruiz not a guy who walks a lot, only 2 so far in the season, displaying some good patience, although that was a relatively easy take well away from him, but some good takes so far in this plate appearance, looking to get on base and hopefully start a 2-out rally for the Majors.
3-1 pitch, called a strike, and the count will move to full now. Byron Reichstein stands on deck for London. If Ruiz can extend the inning here, get on base, it'll be Byron to bat next, and he has the power to put it in the gap and bring a rally with 2 gone. This one hit on the ground, right back up the middle, over top of the bag and into shallow center field. It'll be a single for Humberto Ruiz with 2 gone, and that will bring Byron Reichstein to the plate.
I'm not sure if Michael Asta got a piece of that out there on the mound. He reached for it. It was a slow roller right over the mound, and I was wondering if it was going to skip off the base, maybe skip towards Asta or into center field. It did not. Went right over it. Good job by Garrett Takamatsu cutting that ball off. Because it was hit so slowly, if it gets past him, Humberto with his speed could have maybe thought about rounding and going to second. Takamatsu assures that that was not going to happen. Made the play, could not record the out, but Ruiz stands at first instead of second.
Ruiz on at first base. First pitch there for a strike, 0-1.
We saw Ruiz fake a break on that last pitch there. You got to look at it from the camera angle in the top right corner of your screen. It's something he likes to do, and we'll see if he's actually on the move here.
0-1 count now on Byron. Ruiz might have been off. Curveball there for a strike. A big, slow curveball from Asta, 0-2.
We've been impressed by that pretty curveball from Michael Asta. He's dropped it in at random moments. He's caught us off guard and caught the hitters off guard as well.
The 0-2 now. Inside, and it's going to get Byron. A hit batter will put runners on first and second with 2 gone now.
It was kind of a running joke with the 2019 team how much Mike Ambrose got hit by pitches. This season, it feels like that torch has been passed to Byron Reichstein, who's been hit a lot this year. And there's another one. Just a pitch that was low and got Byron in the legs. So another hit by pitch for him. He is aboard.
So Hayden Jaco to the dish now. He'll look to try and continue on what the Majors have started with 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A 2-out single, 2-out hit batter. And all of a sudden, this quick inning in the bottom of the 5th has turned into a little bit of trouble for Asta. Jaco on the ground now, third base, picked up on a hop. Salazzo over to 1 in time, and that will end the inning. So the Leafs work out of a little bit of a 2-out jam there here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Majors don't get any runs across, and they'll carry this 3-2 lead going into the 6th inning. You're watching London Majors Baseball on Majors TV. Dylan Baker on the call when we come back.
Welcome to Labatt Park, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Don't miss your chance to walk the same field as some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts inside the original clubhouse. Book your tour at labattparktours.ca.
Welcome to Modern Health and Performance. The MHP team here provides patient-centered care custom to your needs. One-on-one treatment, assessing and treating the cause. Get back to doing what you love. Offering chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage, and custom orthotics. Our team is here for you. Book your appointment online today. New patients always welcomed. Dr. Alex Colson, official chiropractor of the London Majors.
It's the quietest I can be right now.
Top of the sixth inning about to get underway here at Labatt Park. Braden Farrington out there on the mound against Ryan Johnston. Johnston 1 for 1 in the ball game. He's got himself a walk and a single to left field. Single came against Braden Farrington, I believe. Farrington ready for his first pitch of the sixth inning. And that's going to miss in the dirt for ball 1. Farrington had 33 pitches through 2 innings of work. The right hand holds the ball off of his body. He comes set. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a called strike. Once the count moves to a ball and a strike now on the Toronto center fielder.
Farrington looking to have a lot cleaner inning here if he can. Ran into a little bit of trouble in the top half of the fifth.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball lined right back up the middle by Johnston. And so the Toronto Maple Leafs have a leadoff base runner here in the top of the sixth inning.
Great job to lead things off here with a base hit in the top of the sixth for the Leafs, who are looking to press. Man, they've came close so far in this ballgame to breaking it open, it seems like a few times, and they just haven't been able to.
Still looking to break this one open, as that looks like Pedro de los Santos in the bullpen. Farrington sets out there on the mound. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, squaring around a bunt is Tamani. It's on the ground towards the first base line. Farrington flips to first in time. So it's a sacrifice bunt for Grant Tamani. That'll move Johnston, the tying run, up to second base, although there is now 1 out.
They'll take the sacrifice. The Majors will trade an out for the runner moving over into scoring position here. Just 1 gone in the top of the sixth inning, but the Majors will take it.
So Jordan Castaldo steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game today. Went 0 for 2 against the starter Robert Doyle with a ground out and a line out that was a double play. Popped out to left field against Farrington. Humberto Ruiz had to run a long way to get to that ball, but he made the play. Farrington looks in, takes his time, and now comes set. Takes a peek back at Johnston at second base. Here's the pitch. Castaldo takes that one on the outside corner for a called strike 1.
Castaldo at the top of the order for the Leafs. Hasn't really had any luck so far with the bat, but that doesn't change the fact that he is still a dangerous hitter here and can tie this game with 1 swing.
Farrington set out there on the mound, takes a peek back at the runner. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Castaldo drives that one towards the left center field gap. Going to be a long run for Ruiz. He'll get there, make the play. Tagging or faking it is Johnston at second. It gets by Carlos Artiega. Johnston going to try to move up to third. Farrington might have a play. The throw, the tag. They got him! The ball got past Carlos Artiega, but Braden Farrington was right there to back it up, and they get Johnston at third base. It's a double play.
What a way to end the inning there for the Majors. Ruiz, Dylan, we've seen throughout the start of this ball game, Ruiz has been showing off that strong arm that he has there, and he does so again. That ball's hit fairly deep to left center field. Ruiz is maybe 30, 40 feet from the warning track out in left center. Gets that one in quick. The throw goes wide, but the Majors, Farrington, Artiega able to act quickly there and act calmly as well, getting the throw over to 3 in time to get Johnston to end the inning and stop any chance the Leafs had at tying this ballgame.
It's so crucial, Noah, for those pitchers to get over there and cover that throw to third base, because at times that's exactly what will happen. It'll get by the third baseman, and sometimes nobody's there to make that play and recover for the team, but luckily for the Majors, Farrington was there to grab that ball, throw it to Carlos, and record the out. There was a similar play recently where Carlos got a runner out at home, although he was the shortstop at the time, another relay that resulted in an out for the Majors. So a couple of good throws have ended up in some outs for this team so far. The defense, Noah, so far this season has been pretty good. I know it was an area of concern in 2019 to start the year. The defense wasn't particularly great, but so far this season it feels like the defense has been pretty locked down for the Majors.
Well, the Majors brought back in the offseason some guys that have played on the team before that were good defensive players, and I think this year what they really did was they changed their mindset. And I know Rup Chanardek probably won't be the first guy to admit that, but it looked like they went more with a team that is focused around speed and defense than in years past. And of course, a lot of these guys are former Majors. They've played together at a time. They went back to what's worked, and it's worked for them so far this season as well.
Absolutely. It's been a great plan put together by Rup for this team so far this season. There is certainly power in the lineup, though, Noah. It's not purely speed and contact and defense, as Cleveland Brownlee is one of those guys with pop. He'll lead off this inning. Be followed up by Julian Johnson, who's got some power, and Adam Fillman, who hit his first Majors home run today.
Majors crowd trying to get into this one to cheer the boys home as we go to the bottom of this 6th inning. It's a weird bottom of the order here, Dylan. These guys are power hitters, right? I mean, you look at Brownlee and Johnson in particular, and of course, obviously, as shown tonight, Fillman can get into a ball and send it over the fence in left. So it's a weird 6, 7, 8. Candela has also driven a ball to the wall tonight as well. So you can't count any part of this London Majors lineup out.
Certainly some very capable hitters, despite the fact that we are at the bottom of the order. They'll get to face Michael Asta, who had an 18-pitch first inning of work and was very solid, Noah.
Dylan, one thing we're going to watch in this inning, and we'll see if he brings it out again, is his curveball. It's very slow, what a lot of people will call a loopy curve. He just kind of drops it in there. I don't see that pitch working once you get around to the lineup the second time. Guys are going to be on to it. He might still use it this at-bat. I bet you Cleve sees at least one, if not two of those. If he can wait back on one of those, though, watch and see if that ball will fly.
Could go a long way if he's able to make sure he waits on it. So Cleveland digs in. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game today. Was hit by a pitch, and then in his next plate appearance, lined out to third base, hit it hard, but Salazzo was right there. The pitch from Asta. Cleveland drives that one to left field. Tamani moving back on that ball. He reaches out, and it's over his head. Cleveland around first. He's going to bust in for second. Takamatsu, no. Cleveland stops himself at first base and will stay there. Thought better of it once he saw how quickly Tamani got the ball in. So it's a leadoff long single for Cleveland Brownlee.
Great job by Brownlee to jump on that pitch right over the heart of the plate. And Dylan, that ball was on a line, hitting off the bottom of the fence out in left center field. And I don't know if that's even just a Cleveland Brownlee thing. I don't know if a lot of guys are going to be able to get to second on that one with the outfield playing where they were and how fast it got to the fence. He didn't have much of a chance for anything other than a single.
First pitch from Asta to Julian Johnson misses outside for ball one. And like you mentioned, that ball was hit really hard. Cleveland, throughout his slump so far this season, has hit the ball very hard, just run into some bad luck. Defense positioned perfectly. Cleveland fakes a break. Got Castaldo to bite as that's on the outside corner.
Cleveland heads back to first base there with a big grin on his face after that fake steal. I don't know how many people he fooled here in the ballpark, Dylan.
Castaldo was moving to second base. Pitch to Johnson, hits the outside corner. I notice now we have the corner shot of Cleveland Brownlee on your screen, just in case.
That steel watch cam up there, in case he wants to pull one out. Dylan, I believe he did have a stolen base back in 2019. It did.
I think he did,
went down as a stolen base. Whether or not it actually was one, it's another conversation to have.
The 1-2, Johnson swings through the fastball from Asta, and it's the first out of this bottom of the 6th inning. Adam Fillman digs into the box next.
Asta reached back for a little bit on that one. He doesn't throw overly hard. He's not going to blow it by you. But we've talked about that curveball. And when you throw that and then you come back with that fastball, just the difference in speed is going to be enough to throw you off. And I think Johnson just a little bit late on that fastball.
So that'll bring up Adam Fillman, 1 for 2 with the home run he hit earlier. Called strike one as that one gets in there. No, I'm not sure, but I think Cleveland faked a break on that one again. Didn't get anybody to bite this time, though.
Fool me once, fool me twice. Maybe he'll go on the thrice, I think is what they say.
Fillman drives that one towards center field. Johnston moves under it. He hit it hard, but right at somebody, and it's the second out. Well, it's the second time that we've seen Adam Fillman get into a breaking ball. Just so happened this one didn't get out of the ballpark.
Hit it hard and hit it far as well, just out to center field. Very deep center field here at Labatt Memorial Park. And after the home run back in the second inning, center fielder out there, Johnson, playing fairly deep, I would say, against a guy in Fillman who you probably wouldn't have in his first at-bat of the season, or first at-bat of the game, I should say.
Yeah, only singles coming into today and then homered in his first at-bat. Asta ready out there on the mound. Here's the pitch. Candel pops that one high in the air. The catcher, Mara, ranging back towards the backstop. Going to be a tough play, and it's going to drop in foul territory. So it's a foul ball.
Tough play there for Mara, coming back to try and track that one down. The foul territory behind home plate here at Labatt Memorial Park. It's not too bad directly behind home plate, Dylan, but it kind of juts out in the corners, and that's exactly where that ball landed over on the third base side, and it was going to be a tough play for Morrow to make. It dropped right beside him, but when you run that far, sometimes you're just not going to get there.
Candell pops that one into foul territory, so it's no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
The go-to pitch coming here for Asta, who is looking to work out of this inning after allowing the Brownlee single.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Brownlee at first. Here's the pitch. That's well outside for a ball. Candell holds up his runner at first.
1-2 here. I wonder if you go back to that curveball for Asta.
He's not been afraid to drop it in there. The pitch, it is a breaker. Candell, drives that one into right center. Going to be a tough play for Johnson to make it. It drops in. Brownlee around second. He'll get into third and be held up there by Brent Wales. So it's a double for Keith Candell. And the Majors have 2 guys in scoring position with 2 out.
Second double of the game for Keith Candell. This one goes off to right center field. His last one over the left fielder's head back in the second inning, but he's been hitting the ball well tonight. Took that one. It was the off-speed pitch we were talking about, Dylan. Coming on 2 strikes with the off-speed pitch for Asta to the plate, and Candell sat back on it, drove it the other way, and it just found the hole out in right center field. The right fielder and center fielder were a long way away from each other, kind of playing Keith to pull a little bit, at least in center field, and that allowed the ball to drop. Unfortunately, Cleveland Brownlee not going to be able to score on that one, even with 2 outs.
So Candell at second, Brownlee at third. Chris McQueen steps up in a big spot. Toppoli is in, so is Salazzo. The corners guarding against a potential bunt here, and that one's going to miss for ball 1. Justin Mara was surprised by that call. It's 1-0.
The Leafs tonight in general have been a little bit surprised by the strike zone. I don't think it's been terrible, Dylan, but a little bit inconsistent maybe at times for the Leafs.
The 1-0, that's in the dirt, so no doubt about that one being a ball. It's 2 balls and no strikes now with 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th.
And it just shows you the power of speed and small ball here as the Leafs infield, even with 2 outs here, playing the corners in. On the grass, Topley is about a step in. Salazzo about the same over at third to protect against the bunt.
Here's the 2-0, and that's going to miss inside and low for ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes with 2 out. You talked about McQueen's speed. Candell's got speed out there at second, so if McQueen can get one to the outfield, Cleveland can score, and hopefully Keith can right behind him. As Asta sets out there on the mound. 3 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. McQueen takes that one in there for a called strike one. Thought about going after, but wasn't the pitch he wanted.
I think on 3-0, he'll take his chances and wait on pitch number 5 of the at-bat. Any other count, and I think McQueen has a rip at that pitch.
So 3 balls and a strike, 2 out, 2 on. Here's the pitch from Asta. McQueen launches that one over the head of Topley into right field. Brownlee will score. Candell right behind him. McQueen takes a hard turn around first. Will stop there. It's a 2 RBI single for Chris McQueen, and the Majors go up 3.
What a piece of hitting there by Chris McQueen, putting on a clinic for the fans here at Labatt Park tonight. Gets a 3-1 pitch he liked. I mentioned on the 3-0 pitch, it was a fastball that was in a good location. Asta came back with a similar pitch in a similar spot, and McQueen was ready to rip. And with the infield playing in, that ball's going to get over top of Topley every single time it does into right field. And you mentioned the speed of Keith Candell, who is standing at second base. He scores easily on that play, extending the Majors' lead to 5-2.
If Topley's playing in his normal position, he likely makes that grab, but because they had to guard against the bunt with McQueen at the plate, he did not, and so 2-run score for the Majors. McQueen is off on this pitch. Arteaga lines it right back to the screen. A bit of hit and run action here with 2 out.
This Majors offense just doesn't stop. Just when you get a single that scores 2, the guy that hit it is off on the next pitch to try and put the runner in motion, open up a hole on the right side with Arteaga swinging. We've seen them do that numerous times already this season. I'm sure we'll see them do it many, many more.
Carlos, such a good contact guy, and McQueen's got speed over at first base. Asta sets out there on the mound, throws over to first. McQueen back with a dive. Quick move, but not really close there at first base.
McQueen leading off at first base, not overly huge.
He's on the move this time. It's a called strike. The throw to second. Takamatsu's tag, and they got him. So McQueen was on the move, but Justin Mara was able to throw him out. However, the Majors get 2 in the inning on an 2 RBI single from Chris McQueen. We're after the top of the 7th here at Labatt Park. Majors lead 5-2.
Welcome to Labatt Park, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Don't miss your chance to walk the same field as some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts inside the original clubhouse. Book your tour at labattparktours.ca.
Majors baseball on Majors TV as we get you a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here at Labatt Park. Obviously 5-2 in our game between the Majors and the Maple Leafs. Blue Jays put up a 9 spot in the 5th and they lead 9-4 over the Red Sox. Kitchener up 7-5 on Brantford. Welland gave up 4. They're up 8-4 on the Hamilton Cardinals, and we already touched on the gold medal game in the Olympics where Canada won 2-1.
Dylan, the Welland Jackfish are winners of 3 straight ball games in the Intercounty Baseball League, and they're enjoying an 8-4 lead over in Hamilton. Looking to try and fight their way back after what I'm sure they would call a miserable start to the season, but looking a little bit up here. Signing earlier this week, Owen Diodati, playing at University of Alabama. A big signing for them that will hopefully help their bats.
Diodati is 2 for 3 in today's ball game with a run batted in. Went 1 for 4 in Welland's exciting walk-off win last night. The fans were going crazy at Welland Stadium. Here's the pitch to Justin Mara. That's going to miss low for ball 1.
Dylan, one time I was calling a off-some baseball game here at Labatt Park, and Owen Diodati was walked intentionally 4 times in the game.
Here's the pitch from Farrington. That's going to miss inside. Can you blame them, Noah? I mean, such a
You
highly
can't.
touted prospect at Alabama. He had 11 home runs this season. And
They threw to him once, and it was a rocket up the middle.
pitcher, after nearly getting hit, was probably like, I'm never throwing a pitch to that guy again, as that's lined hard but well foul down the right field line. It's 2-1.
The Majors, after falling behind in the hit category in this game pretty early on, they were behind 9-3 at one point in the game, and now just trailed 10-7 in terms of hits. But where it matters, 5-2 the lead.
Farrington set. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed. He took something off of that pitch to Mara, and it's strike 2. Mara is 3 for 3 in the ball game today. A double, a single, and a homer. He's a triple shy of the cycle here, Noah.
They have to keep that on watch, Dylan.
Could be his last at-bat of the ball game here in the 7th inning. Pitch from Farrington on its way. Breaking ball just misses the outside corner. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. A full count to Mara.
Mara, the home run in his last at-bat, crushed that ball to right field. Reichstein didn't know where it was, but luckily for the Majors, if you want to look at it that way, it didn't even have a play on it.
On the ground to the hole. McQueen tried to make a diving stop. He slowed the ball down. Mara stops at first, but the infield was shifted well to the right, and it's going to be a base hit for Justin Mara.
Interesting infield alignment on that play, Dylan, as Chris McQueen was playing well over to the right side, actually in shallow right field. But they really didn't bring Candell over a whole lot from short. He was over a bit towards second base, but they didn't bring him on to the other side of the diamond, and I think that is what probably cost the Majors allowing Mara to reach there. Although a hard hit ball, it was going to be a tough play regardless.
Yeah, I think that would have been McQueen's ball had he been playing normally, but As he was shifted, they couldn't make the play on it. And we saw a similar play to that earlier in the ball game where Candell was still in his normal position and just rolled up the middle. McQueen might have had a shot at it as Sean Riley steps up to the plate and takes a first pitch ball. Riley also 3 for 3, just like Mara was heading into that last at-bat. Now 4 for 4 is the Toronto catcher.
Talk about having trouble with the heart of the Maple Leafs order. Now 4 for 4 for Justin Mara in the 2-hole, and Riley's got himself 3 very hard-hit singles so far in the ballgame.
Farrington set. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Jaco thinks about going to first, but will pull up and throw back to Farrington instead. It's 2-0.
And I know the double play's in order here, Dylan, but I'm surprised the Majors haven't tried to tighten up that hole on the left side, considering Riley's gone there 3 times in the ballgame tonight.
Yeah, it's been pretty close to the same hit every single at-bat. Farrington set on the mound. Here's the 2-0. Breaking ball just misses the outside corner. And it's 3 balls and no strikes to the Maple Leafs DH.
Tough here for Braden Farrington to fall behind 3-0, but now to Riley. See, this is an interesting spot because you don't let the base open to walk him, but you really don't want to give him anything to hit on 3-0.
3-0 inside, and that's going to be ball 4. May have clipped Riley's jersey, but nonetheless, he's on base. So first and second with nobody out as Ruth Chanardad wanders over to the bullpen to get somebody warming. Looks like they're going to get the righty loose. It's Mike DeLong.
So the Majors looking to get the bullpen warm here. Nobody out for Braden Farrington here in the top half of the 7th inning. Got himself in a little bit of trouble here. But Dylan, if there's a good news to take away from this, is probably the 2 most dangerous guys in the lineup so far tonight. They're on base, so you don't have to face them again.
Garrett Takamatsu steps in and takes a called strike 1. He represents the tying run as he goes to talk to the home plate umpire, see if that's as far as that strike zone reaches. Farrington set out there on the mound. First and second, here's the pitch. Breaking ball, Takamatsu will foul that one back, and it's 0-2.
Exactly how you want to bounce back. 2 straight strikes to Takamatsu, who in the ballgame tonight hasn't shown much at the plate. Struck out a fielder's choice and then was hit by a pitch, so he's 0 for 2. Now behind 0-2 in the count to Farrington, who's looking to get the first out of the inning.
So no balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, first and second. Farrington steps off, wants to reset, wasn't confident in that pitch. Farrington reached 100 strikeouts in today's ball game, in case you're just joining us in his IBL career, so congratulations to Braden. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss outside. Of course, with the caveat that that includes the unfinished game against the Kitchener Panthers that will be completed on August 20th here at Labatt Park.
It will be completed at some point, which is, like you said, the caveat there that gets him to 100.
Here's the pitch. Takamatsu takes that one low. 2 balls and 2 strikes, nobody out. First and second. Farrington lets that right arm dangle. Not quite as far away from him as Craig Kimbrell has his throwing arm. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed by Takamatsu. There's number 101 for Braden Farrington as he gets Takamatsu to chase out of the zone.
Second time Takamatsu's gone down on strikes in the ball game tonight. First one back in the first inning against Robert Doyle, but continuing here as Braden Farrington will have to face off against Salazzo now, who's also struck out twice in the ball game. Both those times against Robert Doyle. Farrington walked him in the first time they faced each other tonight. He'd love to strand him there, Dylan. 2 guys out there who reached base, part of the dangerous part of the order.
Pitch, Salazzo swings and misses. Salazzo definitely a guy who can tie the game with 1 big swing. It's 0-1 here from Farrington.
Looks like he's just been missing a little bit on his swings tonight. On top of the ball, perhaps.
Pitch, Salazzo on the ground, hit hard. Johnson bobbles it, touches first, throws to second, looking for the tag. But Riley is in there with a slide, so second and third now with 2 out after Johnson records 1 out at first.
Johnson able to get in front of that hard hit ball and stop it with his glove. Didn't pick it up cleanly, so that's probably what stopped them from being able to turn the double play. And at least personally, Dylan, I'd like to see him probably just hold on to that ball. Didn't look like he had a shot to get Riley going to 2, especially when they had to turn into a tag play and risk throwing it into center field, which would have scored the 3rd run of the ball game for the Leafs. But it works out in their favor here. 2 gone. And Farrington just an out away from working out of danger here once again in the top of the 7th.
Nearly did overshoot the man covering second base as DeLong continues to get loose in the bullpen. Farrington set to face Marcus Connect, who's 1 for 3 today. He takes that one outside for a ball.
Connect's 1 hit in the game. Really got a hold of it as he was able to get on base.
Been calling that a single all game. Turns out it was a double for Marcus Connect in his first at bat. Here's the 1-0. Connect swings and misses at that breaking ball from Farrington. Came out of his shoes on that one, and it's 1-1.
You know, I was wondering this entire time if I got it wrong. I had it written down as a double. You said a single, and I'll be completely honest. I was doubting myself.
I apologize for making you do that, Noah. I got that one wrong. It was a double for Marcus Connect. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball. Connect takes a big cut at that one and comes up empty once again. After the swing he had on the last one, why not come back with it?
He struck out his last 2 times up at the plate after the double back in the 2nd inning. Farrington would love to try and do that again here to get himself out of this top of the 7th inning jam. And he's got himself in a favorable 1-2 count.
Connect was strikeout number 100 for Braden Farrington. Here's the 1-2 on its way. Connect hits that one hard on the ground, takes a hop towards the umpire. Candell makes the play. Strong throw over to first, and the side is retired. So Farrington leaves 2 runners on base. In a big spot there, Noah, he's able to work his way out of a jam.
And Dylan, that was an unbelievable play by Keith Candell. Yeah, it was right at him, but he had to get through Riley. The umpire was placed right there as well. I'm surprised he saw that ball, and he might not have until the last second, but he was able to pick that one up cleanly and make the final out of the inning. And that one easily, at least from up here in our view, could have gone real bad for the Majors.
Absolutely, it could have, Noah. It took a strange hop as well. As Sweet Caroline plays over the loudspeakers of the ballpark. Hey, Noah, who's not here today?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me to sing Sweet Caroline.
I would never do that to our audience.
I can.
I would never do that to our audience, Noah.
Fun fact, I sang it at a karaoke night one time.
That might be the least surprising fact you've ever told me.
Anyways, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that the Bushmen still have not made their way to London, Noah.
If they're watching tonight, I am going to be upset.
They keep saying on their Bush Banter podcast that they're going to make their way down to London. They're looking forward to it. They got one more game to do that. Ba, ba, ba. We got to get it.
That's the only part I'll sing. That is the only part I'll sing. You get a look at the crowd here, Dylan, and we've said it throughout the ball game tonight that the crowd really showing up here on Friday night at Labatt Park. Is we talked about the capacity limits, 3,300, and we're not experts, but I would say we're close to that. We're definitely close to the 3,000 mark tonight, and it's good to see the people turning out to the ballpark. The Majors have treated them to a good ball game. So far tonight, 5 runs on 7 hits, no errors for the Pinstripes, 2 runs, 11 hits, just the 1 error for Toronto on the road. And they're going to have to really come at the bats in the 8th and 9th if they want to try and get their first road victory of the season.
They've only got 2 more chances to tie this game, and the fans, like you mentioned, have been treated to a good ball game. Some of the fans with younger kids heading for the exits now in the 7th inning, but it's been a really good ball game for a really good crowd. They've been excited, they're happy to be here, and they've come out in droves. A lot of people at the ballpark today.
Majors will get on the sticks here with 2, 3, and 4 to kick off things in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And looking to try and add on some runs here. 3 runs is not going to feel safe enough for the Majors, especially after what happened a week ago. They'd love to tack on a few more.
Yeah, Majors were up by 4 in that game against the Welland Jackfish. They wound up putting up a 6th spot, or pardon me, they were up a couple in that game, and Welland put up a 6th spot. They were down. They took the lead 10-6. They would win by that score as Carlos Artiega leads off the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Artiega, Ruiz, and Reichstein due up for the London Majors. Chance to add some more runs.
Arteaga 3 groundouts in the ball game. Twice to third, once over to second. We'll have to try to lead things off in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
First pitch is a strike to Arteaga. 0-1. Asta working quickly out there on the mound. Here's the 0-1 home to Carlos. Breaking ball, just gets a piece and fouls it back. It's 0-2.
Asta working fairly quickly here out on the mound in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Went with the fastball first pitch and then came back with that curveball. And against Arteaga, I don't know if they're going to go with that curveball for a second straight time. Might see him go with the fastball in.
The 0-2 on its way from Asta. Swung on and missed on what looked to be a high fastball, Noah, and that's the first out of this 7th inning.
Just what you needed in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The first out there as Asta goes upstairs, climbs the ladder to get the strikeout on Carlos Arteaga, who's retired for the 4th time in the ball game tonight. And he'll bring Ruiz to the plate, too, although he's hit the ball hard a couple of times, has just a 1-for-3 night so far.
Ruiz will look to hit 500 on the night, go 2 for 4 with a base hit here. It was a single his last time up to Garrett Takamatsu. Here's a pitch, line drive towards shortstop, diving play by Castaldo. What a great play by Jordan Castaldo over there at shortstop, diving to his right to make that grab.
That one looked like it fooled him a little bit. Castaldo, it looked like it was coming right at him off the bat, and then kind of just sliced over to his right-hand side. Had to dive across his body to make that catch, but it is there for the second out, and now Byron Reichstein will come to the plate here with 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th.
Byron 1 for 2 on the day, was hit by a pitch his last time to the plate and drove a line drive double his first time. Popped up and reached on an error by the pitcher, so he's been on base all 3 times, although the error does not count as a hit. Here's a pitch, Byron drives that one to right field and shallow, moving under it the right fielder, and right there is Marcus Connect to make the play, so the Majors go down quickly in the bottom of the 7th. Noah Smith back on the call when we come back for the 8th here. You're watching Majors Baseball on Majors TV.
Welcome to Modern Health and Performance. The MHP team here provides patient-centered care custom to your needs. One-on-one treatment, assessing and treating the cause. Get back to doing what you love. Offering chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage, and custom orthotics. Our team is here for you. Book your appointment online today. New patients always welcomed. Dr. Alex Colson, official chiropractor of the London Majors.
Welcome to Labatt Park, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Don't miss your chance to walk the same field as some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts inside the original clubhouse. Book your tour at labattparktours.ca.
Well, we welcome you back inside here, Labatt Memorial Park, the site of this one as we move along to the top of the 8th inning. And the London Majors out in front to a 5-2 lead. Dylan, 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, and then it didn't take the Majors long to get that one in the 7th inning as well, or pardon me, was that the 6th? 6th inning looks like bottom of the 6th as I read the scoreboard out there in right center field. 5-2, they lead here as we move to the 8th.
Yeah, we're off to the 8th inning, and that means Mike DeLong is coming out to the mound to try and close this one out. DeLong blew a save last Friday night against the Welland Jackfish. Will look to have more success here today. He's going to start off by facing the bottom of this Toronto order. Although it's no cakewalk in itself, Damon Topley will lead things off. He's had a good ball game and a good season so far. He'll be followed by Ryan Johnson and Grant Tamani, as DeLong will likely be asked to work 2 innings, although Connor Ambrosio and Jared Lund are getting up just in case.
Just having an eye on it just in case they need them tonight. DeLong, his first pitch, missing upstairs 1-0 here as he faces off against Damon Topley, who so far in the ball game tonight has reached base. He got a single back in the second, struck out, and then grounded into a double play back in the 5th inning. This one hit right field, coming in, dropping slightly. McQueen over to make the grab, sliding in shallow right field.
Great play there by Chris McQueen. It was going to be a tough one, Noah, and I was wondering if anybody was going to get to that ball. Byron certainly was, and he was played too deep to go get it. But McQueen was able to range over and make that grab. He went down to his knees and then hit so hard on his knees that he fell forward, but was still able to make the catch. A nice play there.
Really the only guy on the field that could make that play. Too tough for Johnson to turn and run straight back, too far in for Reichstein to come in and make the grab. So McQueen knew that one was up to him, and he was able to make the grab out in shallow right field. First out here of the top half of the 8th inning.
Let's take a good route to that ball as well, and that's exactly what he did.
So DeLong's got his first out here in the top of the 8th. Took just 2 pitches to Damon Topley. Now fastball missing low, 1-0. It's Ryan Johnson, who's been able to reach base every time up so far today. 2 singles and a walk. 1-0 delivery. This one hit in the air. Shallow right. It's McQueen calling off Reichstein there to make the out. So the pop up to Chris McQueen. 2 gone in the top of the 8th.
2 pop-ups to Chris McQueen so far in this inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2 quick outs for Mike DeLong. A much easier play there for McQueen. Just need to take a couple of steps into right field to make that grab. Didn't have to range quite as far as now Grant Tamani steps up to the plate.
Tamani had a sac bunt his last time up in the 6th inning. Struck out in his other 2 plate appearances so far tonight. DeLong's first pitch going to miss, 1-0. Goes without saying, but you're going to want to bet that DeLong really wants to get Tamani out here before he has to face the top of the order. Missing on 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes.
We know how tough that top of the order can be for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you wonder, maybe Rube Chanadette thinks about taking Lund or bringing Lund into this ball game with the lefties, but I feel like it's DeLong's 2 innings to lose, although it would be much easier if he can get Tamani here.
Just missing on the fastball, and if you saw in the reaction there by DeLong, he thought he got the zone on 2-0, and it puts him in a deep hole, 3 balls, no strikes.
Kind of just popped the glove up, like, where did that miss? But looked like it did just miss a little bit low.
There for a strike on 3-0, and no choice but to throw it over the plate. 3 balls and a strike here. Hitters count for Tamani, who will look to try and kickstart a rally here for this Maple Leafs club, looking to try and fight back into this game. And now DeLong will step off. Jaco gives the sign. DeLong likes the one he puts down. 3-1 pitch to the plate. Called strike 2. Went with the off-speed pitch.
That one got a lot of the plate. I'm not sure what Tamani was upset about. It did look like it was a strike. It's now full count, 2 out. DeLong has a chance to put him away here in the top of the 8th.
3-2 pitch from DeLong. Off speed, just inside. Missed on 3-2, and Tamani will reach on a base on balls with 2 outs here in the top of the 8th.
DeLong was hoping that he had gotten that strike call, and he did not, unfortunately for him, as Jordan Castaldo steps up to the plate. And you never want to face Jordan Castaldo, especially in a spot like this where it's late in the ball game, chance to do some damage. But today he's 0 for 4. He's got a line out double play, a ground out, a pop out, and a fly out in the ball game.
First pitch going to miss to Castaldo. Not a whole lot of success in tonight's ball game, but that doesn't change the way they're going to approach this at bat. against the former Silver Slugger. Throws over to one. Checking on Tamani over there at first base.
Lund taking his time in the bullpen. I think he's just there as a last resort if the Majors, or if DeLong really runs into trouble. Got a great chance to pitch out of trouble here with Tamani at first.
Inside to Castaldo, 2-0.
DeLong seems to be taking a similar approach to what we saw Toronto's starter Brennan Lyons take to the Majors power bats. Jam them inside. Don't let them get their arms extended. Trying to hit the inside corner against Castaldo with little success so far.
2-0 upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes here to Jordan Castaldo. And this will lead to a mound visit from Chris McQueen out at second base.
Pretty smooth flip there from Chris McQueen with the rosin bag. Just toss it over to DeLong after using it himself. And just trying to calm him down, getting him to zero in again.
Pitch from DeLong in the dirt. Ball 4 to Castaldo. And now the tying run will come to the plate, represented by Justin Mara, who's 4 for 4 today.
Yeah, very hot hitters due up for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mara and then Sean Riley. Mara is a lefty. Lund the lefty in the bullpen, but Roop Chandidat seems like he's going to stay on the bench for now. Mara didn't matter lefty or righty. Today he's gotten hits against both.
An extra base hit and a single against the lefty and Doyle to start the game, and then a home run and a single against Farrington. Pitch inside, and that one is going to nail him. So Mara will head to first base on the hit by pitch. And now all eyes in the ballpark towards the Majors dugout to see if there is a move to be made.
Roop Chandidat is walking out there to the mound. We'll see if that's to talk to DeLong, who he has a very close relationship with, or if that's the end of DeLong's night. Lund looking like he's ready in the bullpen, warming up a little bit harder as Roop goes out to talk to DeLong. He's loaded the bases here. Struggled with his control after the first 2 batters, got 2 pop-outs. But then, after that, Grant Tamani walked, and then Jordan Castaldo walked. Justin Mara was hit by the first pitch he saw. So the bases are loaded for Sean Riley, but in a spot like this, I think you'd rather take your chances with Riley against a tough righty in DeLong versus a lefty in Lund. Obviously with the lefty-righty matchup situation.
Tough position to put a young pitcher into as well. Lund to bring him in with the bases loaded against who is, you could argue, the best hitter in the history of this league, Dylan.
I don't know how much of an argument it would be.
There's not much of one.
Really good for a really long time.
And oh boy, if you weren't on your edge of your seat to start things here, you sure are now. Top of the 8th inning. Majors got 2 quick outs and then loaded the bases for Sean Riley. DeLong ready to work here. Grabs his sign from Jaco in the full windup, comes to the plate, missing upstairs, 1-0.
DeLong's got a 0 in here. That fastball missed up and in to Riley. He can use that breaking ball that's so tough. He has 2 different sliders that he likes to go to. A slower one he can drop in and a sharper breaking one.
Outside again. 2 balls, no strikes here to Sean Riley.
If I'm DeLong, I try that slider here. Get to see if he can drop it in on Riley. He's thrown a lot of balls in this inning. Perhaps Riley will be taking here. Just drop one in, try to catch him off guard.
There it is. Into the zone for a strike, 2-1 against the dangerous Sean Riley, who so far in the ballgame tonight had an RBI single, singled again in the 3rd, singled again in the 5th, and walked last inning in the 7th. 2-1. Drops it in there. Off-speed pitch again. Riley doesn't like the call, and he's continuing at the plate there.
Riley was quite heated about that call there from the home plate umpire. Now DeLong is in a very good spot. He used the sharp breaker to get the first strike. and then just dropped that one in that cut inside on Riley and caught the inside corner. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. He can use anything here. I think he sticks breaking ball after missing with the fastball a few times.
The 2-2 just missing there. The outer portion of the zone may be a bit low as well, and the count will move to full. Runners should be in motion here with 2 gone. And probably what has been and what will be the biggest pitch of the ball game coming right here, Dylan.
A big pitch coming up for Mike DeLong. He'll go back, gather his thoughts. And he went with the fastball there on 2-2, despite the fact that the breaking ball had been working a little bit better so far against Riley. We'll see what he comes with here, full count. Does he have enough confidence in the breaking ball to go with it, or does he still want to try and blow a fastball by Sean Riley? We'll see if he's able to locate it. Very close pitch on the last one, which tells me the fastball is coming back to him.
The 3-2 pitch here as DeLong grabs his sign, comes to the plate, hit on the ground up the middle, base hit. 1 run's in to score, waving in the second run, and the Leafs are within 1. The RBI single for Sean Riley.
A good pitch there from Mike DeLong. It really was with that slider, but the reality was it was an even better piece of hitting from Sean Riley. He stayed on the breaking ball, reached out, put it up the middle for a base hit, which allowed a run to score. And with the runners in motion, there was no real shot for Adam Filman to throw out Castaldo from second base. And this is the second mound visit of the inning for Rube Chanadat, which indicates that that's the end of Mike DeLong's night. And it's time to bring in the lefty, Jared Lund.
So the Majors will go to the bullpen and will have to rely on Lund to get themselves into this ball game and with the lead into the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll go take a quick break here. Majors switching arms into the bullpen. You're watching London Majors baseball on Majors TV.
Welcome to Labatt Park, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Don't miss your chance to walk the same field as some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts inside the original clubhouse. Book your tour at labattparktours.ca.
Well, we'll welcome you back here. London Majors in a little bit of trouble in the top half of the 8th inning as Sean Riley has once again been the one to keep the Maple Leafs close in this ball game. His 4th single, 3rd run batted in this ball game, has brought the Leafs within 1 run, and that run standing at second base here as the Majors go to the bullpen. Dylan, they'll go to the young lefty in Jared Lund.
Yeah, Riley now up to 16 RBI on the season. Lund comes in having gotten his first IBL save in the doubleheader against the Barrie Baycats on July 25th. Got the save in that first game. He will look to have similar success today. He's pitched in 3 games so far this season. He's 0-1 with in 3 2/3 innings, I should say. 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, hit by pitch, and a save. Has only given up 4 hits as well. That loss came against these Toronto Maple Leafs when Justin Mara hit a go-ahead 2-run home run in the 7th inning at Christie Pitts. That was back in mid-July.
Lund to the plate. First pitch called a strike. He's up 0-1 on Garrett Takamatsu, who in the ballgame tonight has struck out twice, grounded into a fielder's choice, and reached base on a hit by pitch. Now he'll face what is his most important at-bat of the ballgame. Lund checks 2 and grabs his sign here. The 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1.
Jared Lund actually worked in both games of that doubleheader against Barrie, through just a 1/3 of an inning in the second one. But in the first game, recorded the save. Was not with the team last weekend as his St. Thomas Tomcats were competing for an OBA championship. They finished just short in second place.
Checks on the runner to the plate. Inner corner, doesn't get the call, 2-1.
When Jackson Farrow, our colleague, and I were on the call a couple weeks ago, we were in awe of Jared Lund's delivery because he gets so low when he pitches. Another example of it here, but the Leafs have already seen it. It can catch teams by surprise. Toronto's already seen his delivery.
Fouled off out of play. over top of the first base grandstand, 2-2. And a big pitch coming here for Jared Lund.
Huge pitch, no on, 2-2 with 2 out and 2 on. I think you try to blow a fastball by him inside if you're Lund.
Here's Lund from the leg kick to the plate. This one hit on the ground. Arteaga at third will go the short way to second in time. And Lund out of the bullpen will help the Majors escape danger in the top half of the 8th inning. But the Leafs tack on 2 runs here, make it a ball game as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Majors leading 5-4.
Good job there by Jared Lund to come in and escape the jam for the Majors. Threw a breaking ball to Takamatsu that he rolled over on towards the third base bag. Arteaga just went the short way with it over to second base. And Lund is a very calm guy out there on the mound. Does not get rattled at all. And right there, he was able to work out of a jam against a tough hitter. If he's on for the 9th, he's going to face the lefty Salazzo, followed by righty Connect, righty Toppoli, righty Johnston, righty Tamani. The next lefty he'd face is Jordan Castaldo, and that is why Connor Ambrosio is warming up in the Majors bullpen as well. Not throwing off the mound yet, just kind of playing catch, but with a string of righties due up in the 9th for the Maple Leafs, we'll see if Roop and Brent try to play the matchup game here.
You want to take the all-hands-on-deck approach in ball games like this, Dylan. Of course, the Maple Leafs, one of the teams chasing down the Majors in the standings. You don't want to be that person who looks at the standings at this point in the season, but this is a short season. It's a little bit shorter than usual. Things are going to go by quicker. You're going to get to the playoffs a little bit quicker, and there comes to a point where you got to start looking at the teams that you're going to be competing with for those playoff spots, and you got to beat those teams, and that's one of those games tonight as the Leafs trying to fight back into this game and move up the standings.
Absolutely. You have to pay attention to that if you're the Majors right now. Every game counts, and you can say in Major League Baseball it's April. Well, that game in April could matter down the stretch. That's exactly the case here between the Leafs and the Majors. You'd think with Boone and De Los Santos available this weekend, one of them going tomorrow, one of them going Sunday more than likely. We have not received confirmation of that from the Majors coaching staff. Those two guys are workhorses. They can work deep into ball games for you, so you can afford to use a lot of the bullpen arms today if that's what you need to do. I think the Majors would like Lund to be able to finish this ball game off just the way they were hoping DeLong would be able to do so, but that may not be the case. So we'll see what Roop and Brent opt to do once we get to the 9th inning. For now, with the offense due up, Hayden Jaco, Cleveland Brownlee, Julian Johnson, you got to put some runs on the board. Try to get as much insurance as you possibly can for whoever is going to work the 9th inning.
Insurance as the Majors bring some big bats to the plate in the bottom of the 8th inning. We move along here at Labatt Park. Under the lights, a gorgeous night for baseball. Big crowd taking in this one here at the Forks of the Thames, and they've been treated to a good ball game so far. A close one, 5-4. The London Majors lead on 7 hits so far in the ball game, and they'll look to try and add a few more of either of those stats in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Hayden Jaco will lead things off for the Majors. He's 0 for 3 and riding an 8 or 9 game hitting streak, I believe, at this point. So that hitting streak is in danger of being broken. This will more than likely be his last chance at the plate in the 8th inning. We'll see if he's able to make something happen and extend it.
So Jaco, Brownlee, Johnston, the 3 to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. It all starts with Hayden Jaco here, the Majors catcher. First pitch here as Jaco hits that one high. Shallow right center field, coming in and there to make the catch in center Johnston. And there's the first quick out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Certainly not the way you want to start this inning if you're the London Majors, as Jaco just pops out to Johnston. Can't get a runner on, but Cleveland, he can make a change to this score with one swing of the bat.
Cleveland Brownlee to the plate. 1 hit. Scored a run when he got hit by a pitch and came in on the Philman home run. And he lined out to third base as well. He's been hitting the ball hard. And he'll see if he can find one into the gap here, put himself in scoring position, and try and bring home Another run here for the Majors. Called a strike there. Not sure if it was called on the swing or the pitch, but it's 0-1.
Yeah, that pitch looked like it was a pitch Cleveland could have grooved, although he did just check his swing there. Down 0-1 in the count.
0-1 here. Big looping curveball missing upstairs. Doesn't get the call. It's a 1-1.
Yeah, that curveball hung up a little bit, but it was a little bit too high to catch the strike zone. That pitch was maybe an inch lower, different ball game.
Comes with the same pitch. Brownlee fights it off. A ball and 2 strikes now.
That breaking ball, Noah, sorry to interrupt, was much better executed by Asta out there on the mound.
Brownlee got what looked like a better look on that one as well, and you got to think he's not going to get a third straight one here. So for Brownlee, do you gear up for the fastball? 1-2 pitch. Outer portion of the zone fouled off. 1-2 will remain.
Looked like he did come with the fastball there. It was well outside. Cleveland just able to fight it off and stay alive. Down 1-2 in the count still. He's going to have to battle, hoping to get on for the Majors.
The look in for the sign, and delivery 1-2 to Brownlee. Fouled straight back to the screen. Brownlee was right on that one, but he stays alive at the dish.
Good job by Cleveland fighting that one off. That's what he's got to do. He's put himself into a hole, has to battle back from that hole.
Asta looking to set down Cleveland Brownlee and get his second out of the inning. Brownlee looking to spoil that. The 1-2. Brownlee crushes that one to right. Gonna get down off the glove. It'll drop. And Brownlee's on with an out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Cleveland hit that one hard to left field. It was off the glove of Tamani, and Cleveland has another base hit. We'll see if it's ruled a base hit or an error as Austin Wilkie comes into the ball game to take over for Cleveland. He hit the ball hard tonight. Cleveland Brownlee did a great job putting the bat on the ball. Ran into some tough luck. Salazzo made a nice play on him. Brownlee will finish the game 1 for 3, as that was ruled an error. But a fantastic game, I think, with the bat for Cleveland Brownlee. Ran into some tough luck. Could have finished 2 for 3 today. Scored 2 runs as well. So an all-around good ball game for Cleveland. A positive sign as he tries to work his way out of that slump.
Big swing to miss at the curveball there by Julian Johnson. Struck out twice in the ball game tonight. As we mentioned, the pinch runner in taking over as Wilkie's on to run for Cleveland Brownlee. We see that happen almost every game late if Brownlee gets on. Throw over will get Wilkie back to the bag.
Yeah, whether it's a tight game where you may need a run to get yourself some insurance, or a blowout where you can afford to lose Cleveland's bat. Roop has plenty of options on the bench as pinch runners. One of them, Robert Doyle, who started the game today, so he's not available. Wilkie comes in.
Wilkie, not an overly big lead over at first. Pitch comes to the plate, fouled straight back by Johnson. 0-2 now.
If you're Johnson, you've just got to battle, and he's done that in at-bats so far this season. He's fought to stay alive in counts. He's going to have to do that here, down 0-2. With 1 out, though, Philman on deck. Chance to drive in Wilkie if you can get a ball deep enough into the gap.
0-2. Wilkie's off. Pitch outside. Strong throw down to second. It'll get into center field. Wilkie's going to go as the ball sticks in shallow center. And just like that, a runner 90 feet away for the Majors.
The speed puts pressure on the defense once again. That was a throw from Justin Marr that got into center field. And I was a little bit surprised. Johnson, the center fielder, wasn't exactly charging hard at that ball once it got past the second baseman. I think because Wilkie was slow to get up, he just assumed that Wilkie was not going to try to move to third. But because Johnson was so slow coming in on that ball, Wilkie was able to move up.
1-2 delivery here to Johnson. Swung on, missed, and a big punch out there for Asta.
Huge strikeout there for Michael Asta out there on the mound. A big spot for Julian Johnson, unable to capitalize, and now Adam Philman comes in. He's 1 for 3. Asta, that out could go a long way towards deciding this ball game. 2 out, now you need a single if you're the Majors to cash Wilkie from third.
Philman had that big blow back in the bottom of the second inning, the 2-run homer. Now he's looking to just find Green in the outfield to bring home a big insurance run here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
If you're Michael Asta out there on the mound, we talked about his inflated numbers due to that bad outing against the Barrie Baycats. He's been very good out of the bullpen today.
0-1 delivery from Asta. Called strike, catches the corner. 0-2.
The probably 2,500, maybe even 3,000 fans still left in this crowd. They've stuck around quite a bit. Did not agree with that call from the home plate umpire. Of course, they're all certified umpires, and they can make that call.
0-2, Asta to the plate. Outside, blocked there by Mara. Keeps the runner where he is at third base, and will have to hold there. 1-2 now.
They are rowdy tonight here at Labatt Park.
Late in this ball game, bottom of the 8th inning, Majors looking to try and add on a run. Here's the 1-2. Upstairs, doesn't get him to chase. 2-2.
Philman was tempted to go after that pitch, but laid off, and now it's a 2-2 count. Asta has thrown 56 pitches so far. As a call-up player, you wonder if maybe he's been starting with his junior team. That's why he's stretched out if the need arises, which it has tonight.
2-2. Swung on, missed. Big strikeout there for Asta as he strands a runner 90 feet away. And we will go to the 9th with the Majors holding on to a 1-run lead, 5-4 here at Labatt Park. 9th inning coming up. You're watching London Majors baseball here on Majors TV.
Welcome to Labatt Park, the world's oldest baseball grounds. Don't miss your chance to walk the same field as some of baseball's most legendary players. View artifacts inside the original clubhouse. Book your tour at labattparktours.ca.
Welcome to Modern Health and Performance. The MHP team here provides patient-centered care custom to your needs. One-on-one treatment, assessing and treating the cause. Get back to doing what you love. Offering chiropractic, physiotherapy, massage, and custom orthotics. Our team is here for you. Book your appointment online today. New patients always welcomed. Dr. Alex Colson, official chiropractor of the London Majors.
To the 9th inning we go here at Labatt Park as the Majors looking to try and close out this game. 5-4 the score. 9th inning. Majors looking for 3 outs, Dylan.
They sure are, Noah. Jared Lund is going to be the man to try and do that. Recorded the final out of the 8th inning. Now has to deal with Jonathan Salazzo, Marcus Connect, and Damon Topley here. Connor Ambrosio throwing in the bullpen in case Lund runs into trouble. Rube Chanderdat does not want a repeat of last Friday, where the Majors blew the game late. Salazzo so far in the ball game. The third baseman is 0 for 3.
Reached base one time with a walk. Lund's first pitch going to drop it in there. Off-speed pitch. 0-1.
Rube Chanderdat was very strategic in his usage of Lund against the Barrie Baycats, who had several lefties at the top of the order. I believe the first 4 batters in their lineup were lefties. Lund set them all down. He's very tough on those left-handed hitters.
He'll have to be tough here against Salazzo and then Connect in Topley. The first 3 in the top of the 9th inning for Toronto. 1-1 delivery. Hit on the ground, third base, Arteaga. Couple hops down to his knee, strong throw across in time. The stretch from Johnson, and they get the first out. A big play there as Salazzo got down the line quick.
Salazzo was moving it down the first baseline. Arteaga and Johnson guarding the lines late in the ball game. Carlos was making sure that was not getting past him. Got down to one knee, got in front of that baseball, and fired a strike over to first. Great stretch by Julian Johnson. You touched on it there, Noah. Without that, they don't get Salazzo. Johnson fell down. He stretched so far. That's a big first out here in the top of the ninth with two good righty bats due up next.
One gone here for Lund as he gets the first big one. Then he comes with the first big strike there, 0-1. Connect has a double in the game. He doubled in the second inning. Love to put himself in scoring position now. Lund will try and set him down. Big curveball, big swing, 0-2.
That was a beautiful breaking ball there from Jared Lund. Got Connect to flail at that one. And it's 0-2. He's a strike away from getting out of this. Get out of this at bat, I should say.
The 0-2. As Lund grabs his sign, comes to the plate. This one hits center field. Couple steps in and there to make the correct. Philman, 2 gone.
Good pitch there from Jared Lund. Connect could not get those arms extended. He was jammed on that pitch and it was flared into center where Philman made the grab for the second out. Damon Topley, the player manager, who's 1 for 4 today, is the last chance for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
So it's Damon Topley, 1 for 4 in today's ball game to try and kickstart a late rally here for the Maple Leafs. First pitch by Lund, right there for a strike, 0-1.
Topley, a veteran hitter, wanted to see a pitch from Lund. Obviously, it's a strange spot to come from, strange delivery. Wanted to see what he's offering.
Lund's delivery comes with the heat, blows it by him, 0-2.
The fans are ready for this ball game to be over. Lund trying to close it out. They're excited.
Got to be 3,000 on their feet tonight. The 0-2 pitch up high. They'll have to wait another one.
Crowd was very excited, hoping that pitch would be the one. They've stuck this one out. They're still out here in large numbers here at Labatt Park in the top of the ninth inning.
Biggest crowd of the season. The 1-2 pitch fouled back. Topley able to spoil for another pitch.
Crowd thought that was strike 3. Topley able to foul it back to the screen, staying alive here. 2 out.
Got him swinging. And that will do it. Lund closes it out for his second save of the season. And the Majors hold on to win 5-4 in front of what looked like a sold-out park tonight.
Fantastic game for the London Majors. They held the Maple Leafs off. The fans were in it the whole time. They were excited to be here. They came out in large numbers. It was a huge crowd. They stuck it out to the end of this ball game. And they got a treat from their hometown London Majors. You saw the players there. Hayden Jaco gave a big fist bump once Lund recorded the final out. The players were just as excited as the fans were. And the fans, their enthusiasm, the excitement that they brought to the ball game certainly helped the Majors. And the players felt that, as you could tell, at the end of that game.
Dylan, the atmosphere tonight at Labatt Park in London felt like we were in the playoffs. The Majors played a fantastic game. It was a near sold-out crowd at Labatt Park, and they put on a show. There was a few times in this game where it looked like the Leafs were going to be able to pull away. They had the bases loaded, nobody out. The Majors worked away from danger, and they come away with the 5-4 win tonight.
Absolutely they did, Noah, and there were times, right, where Doyle and Farrington worked themselves into some tough spots, but they worked themselves out of those spots as well. Big strikeouts, big outs recorded. That cannot be stated enough how important those were. The fans were into it the whole time. They had a lot to cheer about tonight from their hometown Majors.
So the London Majors get the win tonight at home. They improved to 7-1 here at Labatt Memorial Park, and they will just add on to that lead atop the Intercounty Baseball League standings. Dylan, that does it for us here tonight. The London Majors are back in action tomorrow night here at Labatt Memorial Park as they host the Brantford Red Sox. That game will be carried locally here on MajorsTV London and across MajorsTV Network as part of the IBL Game of the Week. It'll also be on YouTube. For those of you watching with us tonight, you can find it there as well.
You can, Noah. We'll be on the call with Jackson Farrow as the in-game host. I'm really looking forward to that ball game against the Brantford Red Sox. It's their first trip to London of the season, so it should be a good ball game. You can catch it on MajorsTV or right here on YouTube.
That does it for us tonight from Labatt Memorial Park. Final score, London Majors 5, Toronto Maple Leafs 4. From myself, Noah Smith, Dylan Baker, Jackson Farrow, and the rest of our Majors TV crew, we say thank you for watching. See you tomorrow here from Labatt Park.